Well, Pacelli and Bloom, they're grizzled and gray, talking about Star Wars from back in the day. Got a talk show called Geeky Geezers, it's true, spinning old tales about the stuff that went through. From Atari to Shrek, they know every line. Geeky Geezers, man, they're feeling just fine. Pacelli's got a lightsaber, swings it with pride. Boomer's got a game but plays it deep in the night. They're ranting about He-Man and old X-Men too. On Geeky Geezers, they're the nerdiest crew, talking Transformers, toys that twist and they turn, singing blues for the geek life, their hearts still burn. Oh, Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream, talking comics and movies, they're busting the scenes. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky Geezers with hearts made of gold. They're sitting in the studio, mics turned up loud, reminiscing about Super Friends, feeling so proud. Pacelli loves Spider-Man, Boomer's for Hulk. They argue about Star Trek with passion and both. From Betamax tapes to their old D20s, Geeky Geezers where the nostalgia flows. They got fans in the chat, from the young to the old, tuning in to hear stories that never get cold. Talking Ghostbusters, Proton Packs, Toys in the Box, and Saturday mornings with cartoons that rock. Pacelli and Boomer, they're keeping it real. Geeky Geezers with that old school feel. Oh, Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream, talking comics and movies, they're busting the scenes. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky Geezers with hearts made of gold. They're singing the blues for the games that they play, for the VHS tapes and the arcades that pray. But the spirits are young, though their hair's turning white. Geeky Geezers keep the nerd fire alight, so tune in each week to the Geeky Geezers show, where Pacelli and Boomer let the good times flow. From X-Files to X-Men, they're dropping the news, singing praises of geek life with them old blues. Pacelli and Boomer, forever they'll be. Geeky Geezers living wild and free.
Toys in the box. Is there a better thing in this world than toys in the box, huh?
Yes, there is. Toys in the box inside of a plastic container so they're not ruined if you have a flood.
Yes, I suppose there's that.
Yeah, well, I'm going through my stuff right now, and that's why I bring that up.
Welcome, everybody, to Geeky Geezers. I'm your host, Agent Boomer. This is my co-host, Pacelli.
Hello, hello.
And with us is Netter of Netter's Network from the Great Beyond. Looking rather spooky there. That's why I'm looking at that.
She's a real doll.
In the Halloween spirit, I got you.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you thought I was doing a doll thing Friday, but no, I was a ventriloquist dummy. She's a doll. There's a difference.
Well,
okay?
I suppose that's true. They're both a little bit creepy, a little bit off-putting.
Well, it is that time of year.
That is true. You're not wrong about that.
Do you have a favorite Halloween candy?
Okay. So here, I don't have a specific favorite, but I do feel there are certain candies that I really only want at Halloween time.
Okay.
And I associate, and these are just normal candies: Baby Ruth, Butterfinger, Bit of Honey. Those are and a banana flavored taffy. Those are candies that I specifically associate with Halloween. I like, and I know that this is anathema to many people. I do like those waxy candy corns and the little pumpkins that are basically the same kind of candies. Not real big on those big popcorn balls, though. Was never fired up.
I like those.
Yeah.
Especially if you get like a bag of popcorn and it's not. They didn't even put butter on it. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, I prefer my stuff to be packaged, so I know that it's. Well, I know how unhealthy it is, not like I question what you put in it,
I like Nestle's Crunch though. That's my favorite.
Geek flags with me. He says, I like candy corn. Come at me, internet.
I like the candy corn that look like the little pumpkins. I like those.
Oh God, I can't remember which
Is that
channel it was.
Brax that puts that out? I don't know. Go ahead.
Could be. There was a channel that was doing. Oh, you know who it was? It was B. Dylan Hollis. Oh, and he was, he does sometimes really, really good recipes, sometimes really, really bad. Candy corn on the cob from 1950 something or other, right?
What?
And what it basically is you make the cob out of marzipan, and then you stick all the corn and the candy corn into it, and oh gosh, it looked like. Dude, I would just get sick. I would just get sick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad. I like marzipan. I like candy corn. But you put the two together and try to take a bite out of it like a candy, candy bar. That would not work for me. Big Al says Smarties. I love Smarties, but I didn't really necessarily just associate them with Halloween. Yes, I got the little packs,
Twist tie.
at least 3 of them, but oh no, I'm thinking sweet tarts. Those 2,
They're
Smarties
similar.
and sweet tarts, I like, but I could eat those all year round. I don't specifically just associate them with
Not to
them.
be confused with Canadian Smarties.
I did say bit of honey, and I don't know, not a lot of people gave bit of honey, but it was like my grandmother's favorite. So
Yeah,
I would always give them to her, and then she'd share them back with me because she knew I liked them too.
Now I like
The
one
old-
that no, I love candy corn, but I can't hear you guys. So if you're all talking, I can't hear you because I'm not in yet. But I had a weird favorite. Nobody else liked these but me. Well, besides the fact I like black licorice too. Used to get the orange and black wrap. They're kind of a peanut butter flavor.
Sure, yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like nobody else liked those but me.
Yeah, they're kind of like bit of honey, like a cheaper,
Yeah.
bigger bit of honey. Yeah,
And they're
it's
more
softer,
peanut butter
a little bit
flavor.
softer. Yeah. There you are.
Okay.
Now you're in. Okay.
Yeah, I had to use the computer.
Yeah.
So you're not talking about Mary Jane's, are you?
Oh, I like Mary Jane's too. They're a lot like bit of honey as well. Yeah.
I always call those, I don't want to be mean, old folks candy.
Well, in fairness, yeah, my grandmother used to really love them, so I guess you could call them that.
It was the people that didn't want to spend money on the candy. That's how I saw it. But I imagine
they weren't less expensive though. It was just
really. Well, then I don't know what the deal was then. I kept
no,
thinking,
yeah.
That's what they gave out during the Great Depression. I mean, I didn't.
And especially around where I lived, we they used to. Oh, back in the late 70s, early 80s, they started putting in these bulk places where you've probably seen them. They even have sections of this in your grocery stores these days, where you'd have these bins of things, and you'd put them into bags, put a little code on it, weigh it out, and that's how they charged you. And they had
Big Al and I are buddies.
What?
Black licorice rules.
Yeah, black licorice is good.
My mom's a fan, not me though. Okay.
Yeah, and what they often had was the what you call old timer candies, and my mom and grandmother used to, like, on an almost weekly basis. Hey, let's go, and I would just, was there something I wanted? I would go to point at something, but mom was already getting it. I'd go to point at something else, grandma was already getting it. So I'm like, I'm good with what you guys get. I just the little nonpareil chocolates with the little whites on
Those
them.
are the best things ever. I love those.
Chocolate covered peanuts, chocolate covered raisins.
And the individual wrapped red and white mints. For some reason, people gave a lot of those out at Halloween too.
Oh,
Really?
okay, yeah.
I don't see those as Halloween candy.
Yeah, those seem more Christmassy to me, I guess.
I
Then
would
there-
get them.
And then there was the ones that had the strawberry, that looked like the strawberry, and they'd strawberry
Yeah.
wrapping, and then I remember those too.
And they had like a hard shell with a soft gel inside, strawberry flavor.
Yes, I used to bite too soon. I remember that.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, welcome to Geeky Geezers, everybody. I'm your host, Aged Boomer, and this is my co-host. Well, actually, I already announced myself, didn't I?
Yeah, it's okay. They know who we are.
Anyway, but what was I going to say? This is not a good old days even though it might as well be since we're talking about Halloween candy, right?
I have no problem getting on an early in the stream tangent of multiple good old days. I'm good with that.
What is your least favorite Halloween candy before we head on out? Just if you could think of it.
I don't know if you'd consider it a candy, but
Yes.
it's something that they gave out a lot when I was a kid trick-or-treating.
Yes.
And I'm probably going to get some hate for this too,
What?
but Cracker Jack. I was never a big fan of Cracker Jack.
No.
I didn't. I would enjoy the toy inside, but when they started going to stickers and tattoos, I just lost.
Get it.
No.
Now, see, the thing that I didn't like, they were, now, Troy's going to give me some hate for this one. They were coconut flavored, and they were pink and white, and I think brown, kind of in a swirl.
Oh, they looked like Neapolitan ice cream, but they were candies.
And I thought they
Ooh,
tasted
no.
so nasty.
Were they like chalky?
No.
No, they tasted like coconut, but they
Okay.
were cloyingly sweet,
That is true. She's
and I
right.
just thought they tasted like old cardboard.
No. I
Yeah,
liked them, but
For me, it's the Necco wafers. That's what they were called. I hated
See,
Necco
I
wafers.
like the Necco
Yeah,
wafers.
That's
I
because
don't
they taste like
brown ones.
licorice.
I like the black ones, I like the pink ones, and the white ones.
Yes.
Well, the colors other people
yeah,
can
I
have.
was never big on the Necco wafers. I agree with you on that. I almost never saw those at Halloween time, so that wasn't.
I want to say I did, and I'm not a big fan of Twizzlers, though I know some people swear by Twizzlers. I'm not
That's
a big
my
Twizzler
theater
fan.
candy.
Yeah,
It is. People like Red Vine. Actually, Red Vines I don't mind, oddly enough. Like if it's a long, thin licorice, I'm
I know-
okay.
I know-
It's the bunched up
Oh,
ones I
the
don't like.
shoestrings.
The
Those were
shoestrings
called
I don't
shoestrings.
mind. Yes, yes.
I
Go
know people can tell the difference between Red Vines and Twizzlers, and I can too, but I don't have a preference. I like them both.
Okay.
See, now I like Twizzlers,
Uh-huh.
but I think the red vines taste more waxy. Because
Okay.
they're a
I
cheaper
never
version.
noticed that. Okay, I'll take your word for that. I
Alright.
never noticed.
Am I not the Twizzlers expert in this
I
household?
would imagine you. Yes, you're such a Twizzlers expert that I wonder why is the inside of the toilet red?
It is,
Oh, very funny.
since I was a Girl Scout.
I'm gonna say hi to the chat now. Hello, Big Al. Have a great stream, my geezer friends. Hope everyone has a wonderful Halloween week. Yeah, it's that time of
Yeah.
year, isn't it?
That's right.
Big fan of this time of year. Get to watch all the creepy movies. Big Al, I got to tell you, if you have access to Tubi or Pluto, and they are free, there's a lot of horror movies on them. If you're bored,
That's right.
A ton of
That's
stuff
right.
on there. In fact, I think Pluto has the old Universals on there. I think they were advertising Bride of Frankenstein.
There you go.
And don't forget, if you're on Last Call, they are doing a membership drive, $1.99. We'll buy
Oh,
someone a
thank you, yes.
membership. Yes. And we are gonna hit that hopefully soon. But yeah,
I hope so. I really need to.
2,000 subscribers at the end of the year, we can make it happen.
Yep.
All
I mean,
right.
this is literally keeping the lights on now.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Troy's full-time job.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. But like I said, go ahead and if you're feeling instead of a super chat, try a membership. It's only
there you
$1.99. But welcome everybody. Welcome to Deleted Scenes. Always good to see you. I know you're doing an unscripted tonight. We were talking about I think he was mentioning actors that may shoot their mouth off sometimes. Which is all the time. Connie Cleary. It was so bad recently. Bill Maher. He was saying that I think he was interviewing Billy Bush, and he was going out. He doesn't have actors on as much as he used to because when they talk, they just don't know what they're talking about. Because they'll at least have political experts, even if they're leftists, and they at least have an idea of what they're talking about. He says actors, they don't know anything.
Yeah. Look, my take on any of that kind of discourse, whether I agree with you or not, I expect you to not only be able to defend your opinion, but understand the opposing opinion well enough to be able to speak to it. And I think too many people don't even understand what they're talking about. All they know how to do is regurgitate sound bites that they've heard on the internet. And I'm talking about all these celebrities that are, running their mouths off.
Yes. Geek Flag, welcome. Like, share, and subscribe, comment, and become a member. Thank you. Words to live by. Jesse Green, welcome. And we are going to have an interesting good old days tonight that I think Troy's going to be more of an expert on than I am. But we will talk about that. Zootopia, welcome. I don't know, man. I keep thinking of that the actress who played Hermione in those Harry Potter movies. How
she is getting roasted online right now. There are people doing
Emma Watson. That's right.
Yeah, doing AI music videos lambasting her.
It's not just. It's the other parts of the interview too. It's not just that. I'm like, just stop talking. It's an entitlement that I think she just doesn't. I don't think she realizes. Never mind. She's not. She doesn't have the celebrity clout she once had. That's what I want to say. That was Twang. Those are
and like so many people of her generation, she doesn't have the intelligence and general knowledge that she thinks she does.
Yes. Tree Rock Creations, welcome.
Hello, hello.
And let's see. Zootopia, I think I said hi to you. Connie Cleary, Lynn Green. 3 likes sent. Thank you so much, Lynn Green. We always appreciate it. And let me scroll down. Hold on. Marc Malnekoff.
Hey,
Greetings from the Dilithian mines of Rurapente.
Oh, gosh.
At
this time, my gosh.
Do they have a bed and breakfast there where you can just, if you want to visit, and just?
Oh, you wish. What they have is a commissary where they serve slop.
I imagine Rurapente was like is similar to Siberia, right? That's how.
Yes, I think that's exactly what they intended. Yes.
Work hard and you will live. Fail to work or whatever, you will die. Basically, yeah. It's like. I am seriously considering walking around my neighborhood to beg for candy. Don't judge me. Ha ha ha. I'm feeling it too, man. I don't know. I miss trick or treating. I do. I used to get a lot of different kinds of candy, and it was cool.
Yeah.
You get to go around many houses, and there were kids that were more professional than I was. Like they would start early and just keep going. Like all night they would go. I'm not that much of a fanatic. I have one bag. I'm good. It's like
Dude,
someone brings their sleeping bags out with them.
When I was getting older and I stopped doing the going door to door, I would kind of take over the responsibility of handing out the candy at the door. So I got to see all the costumes. And let me tell you something. Some of these kids, I do not fault them in the slightest. They would literally go around the neighborhood in one costume, change their costume, and then go around again. And I'm like, dude, you didn't even have to change your costume. I would have still given you the candy. And he's like, but I wanted to wear a different costume. I'm like, okay, that's just overachieving to the max.
I guess if they go to that much trouble, it's okay as long as it's just like not switching out a mask. If you know what I'm saying.
True. Yeah.
All right. Time to bring up the presentation so we can get on with our sad news week. Though we end, I think, on a happy note.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
What are you doing to me?
My apologies.
So guess what's the good old days tonight? It is Dr. Demento.
Yes.
Who is
absolutely.
Dr. Demento? Why should I care? And I guess I've heard the name, so I'm not gonna act like I'm completely ignorant.
Yes.
DJ, correct?
Absolutely.
Is he like Wolfman Jack?
I suppose in that you could say he was a niche kind of DJ that had a very specific on-air personality.
Nowadays it would be online, right?
Well, right, exactly. His name is Barrett Eugene Hansen originally, but of course his stage name, Dr. Demento. He started his Dr. Demento show in 1970 at KPPC in Pasadena, California. Positive listener response led to him to turn his rock oldies show into an all-novelty format. At the end of my birth year, 1971, he moved to KMET in Los Angeles, hosting a 4-hour live show from 72 to 83. From about 74, the local version was 4 hours, while the syndicated show was 2. I remember in Chicago we got it on late night, so it wasn't during the primetime thing. He often played punk records in the mid-'70s, earning respect among the punk scene. The show moved to KLSX, then to KSCA, until KSCA changed format in February of '97. And for those of you that aren't aware, anything, I think it's west of the Mississippi, the call sign starts with a K. Anything on the east side, which is our side, is W. So anyway, so WKRP in Cincinnati. That actually makes sense, right?
Yes.
The show went into national syndication in '74, produced by Larry Gordon of Gordon Cassidy, and from '78 to '92 was with Westwood One, marking a national popularity peak. Producers included Lindsay Guerrero from '78 to '82, Robert Young from '82 to '90, who expanded the show's reach, coordinated live performances, and later released an ebook producing Demento. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. From '92 to 2000, syndication was on the radio broadcasting. Hansen, under Telonian Productions, managed syndication until 2000, until dropping the show in 2010. He identified himself as Telonian's owner in 2007. Telonian only produced Dr. Demento. Between the mid-'70s and '90s, he continued live broadcasts on KMET in Los Angeles and made TV appearances on The Gong Show up till '89, Bobby's World, The Simpsons, and the Barnes & Barnes music video for Fish Heads. The syndicated show opened with audience requests, followed by themed second hour with a funny 5 countdown on top requests. Holiday-themed shows, especially at Halloween and Christmas, were frequent, as were the annual year-end Funny 25 countdown. Hansen typically produced 52 original episodes annually. The program's opening theme is an instrumental of Pico and, I'm going to screw this up, Sepulveda by the Roto-Rooter Good Times Christmas Band during the early K-Met years. It was the Sugar Blues by Clyde McCoy. Short musical teasers and countdown intros were recorded by the same band or sampled from Harry Parch's Bartow. Hansen's opening line, "Wind Up Your Radios," refers to 78 RPM records from his collection, and the closing theme is "Cheerio, Cherry Lips, Cheerio" by Scrappy Lampert. He ends each show with "Stay Dement, Ed." In '87, whimsical Will Simpson, has produced a weekly Demented news segment and recorded break-in comedy interviews, including "Hey Dickie," using posthumous samples of Dickie Goodman, the pioneer of the break-in comedy genre, and a frequently requested artist on the show. In the late 80s, the show lost affiliates due to radio industry changes. In 1992, Westwood dropped the show on the radio. On the radio broadcasting. On the radio broadcasting immediately picked it up. The new syndicator allowed tracks Westwood One would not, such as "It's a Gas" by Alfred E. Newman, and "Moose Turd Pie" by Utah Phillips.
Ew, I'm not eating that.
As well as, well, I don't think you should, as well as allowing the time for Whimsical Will's Demented News segment to air nationally. What?
Dead puppies.
Dead puppies aren't much fun. That's right. In 2000, Hansen formed Telonian Productions for self-syndication. Okay, that just takes it up through today. They did start online streaming in 2006. So when it comes to the kinds of music you would expect from his shows, Weird Al Yankovic, would not even really be a known thing if it weren't for Dr. Demento. I mean, that's the bottom line. I think that's the artist that people most commonly think of, but others include Harry McClintock, Spike Jones. Spike Jones was a mainstay. Jimmy Durante, Benny Bell, Rusty Warren, Yogi Jorgensen, Nervous Norvis, Alan Sherman, Ray Stevens. Oh, yes, they
What?
called him the Street. Zing. Look at that, look at that.
I know
Yes.
that.
Candy Candido, Stan Freeberg, and Tom Lair. Yeah.
Dude.
Yep.
I know. Look, there's Weird Al right there.
Yep.
I have a question for you though, and this has been bugging me all evening. What are those like? Is that some form of a CD, like a black CD in his hand? What is that?
That's a 45 RPM record.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's my Indiana Jones little book with soundtrack disc. Sorry, with disc where you say turn the page when you hear the bullwhip crack. Yes.
Well, there you go. I had the R2D when R2D2 beeps like this. Woo! You know.
Oh, you know what I had on one of those? I had the Muppet Show, the disco thing. I think.
Oh,
one
really?
of the disco songs, yes.
My mom had, and I've told you about this before, one of those really big wooden chest, record players, stereo systems that you could like put booze into. Yeah, obviously it was a very 70s thing, and so it was like a bar / record player, and the record player, had the thin spindle for the LPs, and you'd set the speed to 33 1/3, and then if you wanted to play 45s, you'd set it to 45, and then you'd put this boxy thing over the spindle. And in theory, you were supposed to be able to stack 45s, and it had an armature that would play one at a time. It almost never worked. It would usually drop like 5 or 6 of them, or it would just drop the whole thing. Boom! And then the last song.
Wow, then you were really doing them wrong because
it was bad.
At the most for us, it would drop 2.
Yeah, it was. But that's what you would. These were the 70s. These were the days before you had, playlists, on digital.
You would make do.
Yes, you would. Yeah.
So that's a Frank Zappa album.
Frank Zappa, right? Absolutely. Oh, that's right. The first time I heard Valley Girl was on the Dr. Demento show. Yeah.
Is he a real doctor?
He's a doctor of funny music.
There you go. Okay.
And then, of course, there's shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always look neat.
I don't remember that one, but there you go.
He didn't follow that unless he was shaving his legs. I'm just saying, because he's got a big old beard.
We wear shorts.
Oh, okay.
All the preceding
yeah
thingies before were something that sounded like an innuendo, and it's like instead of like swearing, it would be like he fell in a pile of shaving cream.
Right, exactly.
Oh, funny.
But interestingly, We Wear Shorts actually a mainstay on his channel. Also, they were. I was telling you about his, Halloween themed. So, One-Eyed, One-Horned, Flying Purple People Eater, Monster Mash. These were mainstays on his channel. Yeah.
And then, depending on who was wearing it, itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
Yes, exactly right. Exactly right.
Oh,
does your chewing gum lose its flavor
on the bedpost overnight? Exactly.
Did you sing Monster Mash after I left the other week?
Yes, I did. I had wanted to sing it too.
Do the Karloff voice, or did you do something else?
Oh, I went full in on the Karloff voice. I went full in on it. Absolutely.
Anyway, I wish if I had known, I would have picked something else. I would have done what do you call it? The Boogeyman song from the 1930s. But yeah, here we go. Dr. Demento. And unfortunately, or maybe not so fortunate. I mean, well, let's call it a celebration. There you go. That's a more recent pick of him. Look at that, huh?
Yeah.
Top hat and
Yeah, yeah.
everything. But here we
The top
go.
hat was always part of his look, his shtick, or whatever you'd call it. Yeah.
Our first story of the night, though, is Dr. Demento ends 55-year run as radio's weirdest DJ.
Yeah, this is actually from about a week ago. This one flew under my radar, but someone brought it to my attention. I'm like, man, we gotta cover this.
We do.
You know?
So it's under in remembrance, even though he hasn't died. I don't think, right? It's just,
No, he hasn't. He's I don't know what
retiring.
his health is like, but he is retiring, and I don't
Well,
blame
55 years is long for
him.
anything.
Right?
Yes.
So we're kind of in remembrance of the Dr. Demento show.
So the Doctor was in for the last time after 55 years of weirding out radio listeners and influencers the likes of Weird Al Yankovic. Dr. Demento honked his horn for one final broadcast yesterday, hosting the final episode of the Dr. Demento show. To mark the occasion, Demento treated Dementors and Dementoids to the longest nationally broadcast Dr. Demento show ever, a 3.5-hour-long extravaganza counting down to Demento's top 40 most demanded Demented discs and tapes from across his career. Minneapolis native Barrett Hansen first introduced radio listeners to his Demented alter ego in 1970 and originated in KPP in Pasadena, California. Well, we kind of went over that already.
Right.
But let me see. Demento released his final traditional episode of May 31st. Following day, he announced his retirement and spent his remaining months on air hosting retrospective episodes, counting down his favorite records decade by decade. 84, Dr. Demento has undoubtedly earned his retirement. Curating popular culture's most disposable art form is hard and thankless work. Considering how fractured the media landscape is now, it's unlikely we'll see someone like Demento again. However, we welcome people to try. If there's one thing society can always use, it's a top hat wearing DJ who specializes in comedy records.
Right.
I can't say it any better myself. I keep wondering if this is from that Weird Al biopic movie, because you have Daniel Radcliffe there in the background, who I think plays the young Weird Al.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess he'll be missed. But I guess you can catch his old shows on the web, right? So.
Oh, they're kind of all over the place. So yeah, no doubt about it. But
that's it for Dr. Demento. But a legend has retired. I'm telling you, it's we got to start replacing these greats with something else, something new. I guess that's. I don't know. I'm just. Yeah.
But it won't be on the radio. I think now it's gonna be the internet. That's just how it is. You know.
Lassie and Lost in Space actress June Lockhart.
This
dies
one is
at 100.
Yeah. 100. That is amazing, but it is still so sad.
Hollywood is mourning the loss of June Lockhart. The beloved actress died at the age of 100 on Thursday, October 23rd in Santa Monica, California. She was surrounded by daughter June Elizabeth and granddaughter Christiana as she passed away. Funeral services for Lockhart were kept private. In lieu of flowers, her family has asked for donations to be made to the Actors Fund, ProPublica, and International Hearing Dogs, Inc. Mommy always considered acting as her craft, her vocation, but her true passions were journalism, politics, science, and NASA. Elizabeth said in a statement the outlet shared, she cherished playing a role in Lost in Space, and she was delighted to know that she inspired many future astronauts as they would remind her on visits to NASA. That meant even more to her than hundreds of television and movie roles she played. Okay. She married John F. Maloney in 1951, and along with Elizabeth, they also shared daughter Anne. The former Flames divorced in 1959. Yeah, but she was big growing up with her. I remembered Lassie. Remember Lassie?
Yes, I absolutely do.
Lassie, oh
Yep.
Lassie,
I
the little
remember.
kid. And did we find out later on the dog playing Lassie was a boy?
Yes, because they were easier to train. Yeah.
That completely shatters my vision of everything. I'm just, it's like when you told me that Connery wore a piece
Nowadays,
when he
the
played
poor
James
dog would
Bond.
be canceled for, not for them not casting a female dog in its
right in the proper role. Yes.
She I remember her, well, of course, obviously, I remember from her iconic roles, but I do remember she had a recurring stint on General Hospital from 84 to 98.
Oh wow, that's a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it does say in her General Hospital she was on Grey's Anatomy, Roseanne, Seventh Heaven, Beverly Hills 90210, Magna
She did a
PI.
lot of guest appearances, and what I love is that she also appeared in some way in every iteration of Lost in Space. So her last role was a voice role in an episode of Netflix's Lost in Space TV series
I got you.
as the Alpha Control voice.
Perfect.
Yeah, I know, just absolutely perfect. That was just, that was just about 4 years ago. So she's really been, but she was in that 1998 Lost in Space movie. She played the principal. I don't even remember that role, but she
was in it. I remember that movie.
Every opportunity. Yeah.
I used to love watching Lost in Space when I could catch it. It had those are those Irwin Allen television series, which I wish they would give. I mean, I'm sure they've been on DVD, but I think they need to give those Blu-ray releases because they had Lost in Space, and I remember, what was it, Dr. Smith, right?
Yes.
And what was always clever about Lost in Space was the episode would always end with the teaser for the following episode. So, like the thing you would see before the credits, that episode would end, and it always would be some horrible thing, and then you would tune in next week, and that thing would happen again, and then you'd see the credits roll, and then you get the episode. Like, there was one where, like, Dr. Smith and Will Roberts are walking around the planet, and like the devil appears, like in full horns, the pitchfork, and Dr. Smith goes, "Good heavens!" and then the devil says, "Guess again."
Yeah.
And I never got to. I think I didn't get to see the follow up to that. I was like, I wanted to see how that episode turned out.
Lynn Green says there was a cool season 1 Magnum episode where June and Ann Lockhart and Jose and Miguel Ferrer were.
Oh, that's incredible.
That's kind of cool. I love when they do stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. She's
what a wonderful career, and and I've seen pictures of her in the past couple of years. Yeah, 100 years. She looked good for 100 years old, for crying out loud.
It's all in the
1925. My gosh.
Apparently she loved rock and roll and going to concerts. Okay, that's cool.
That is really neat.
Oh, look at this. President Dwight Eisenhower's press secretary, Jim Haggerty, ended up gifting Lockhart a lifetime press pass. She attended multiple press briefings in both D.C. and California for 47 years, so that's interesting. But yeah, it's just rest in peace, and we'll miss her. But coming up next, I think we have a special presentation from our man in the field, correct?
Oh, that's right. Unfortunately, I didn't upload it.
What?
My apologies. Let me do that. Why don't you go ahead to the article?
Let's get to the next article, and then we'll do it after the next one. How's that sound?
Yeah. Go ahead.
But let's go into.
Don't be confused. I'm going into the studio.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Let me just go forward with one slide if I can, and let me go past this one. I think, right? Or no? Here we are. OpenAI strengthens Sora 2 guardrails after actor Bryan Cranston raises alarm. OpenAI said it is cracking down on unauthorized content following outcry over Sora 2's ability to replicate likenesses and copyrighted material without permission, and public figures might have actor Bryan Cranston to thank for that. During the September 30th launch of Sora 2, the newest version of OpenAI's advanced text-to-video model, the company said it would prohibit users from replicating real people's likenesses without the person explicitly opting in through a cameo feature. Despite this stated policy, videos of Cranston, who is best known for his role as Walter White in Breaking Bad, quickly started appearing on the Sora app alongside AI-generated videos of other celebrities, including deceased figures like Michael Jackson and copyrighted characters like Ronald McDonald. Cranston subsequently raised the issue with SAG-AFTRA, the union representing more than 150,000 film and TV performers, which has resulted in a collaborative effort with OpenAI and several talent agencies to ensure voice and likeness protection in Sora 2. the company said in a joint statement posted to X on Monday. The statement said OpenAI has strengthened its original guardrails to ensure this type of content no longer slips through. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman noted that the company is deeply committed to protecting performers from the misappropriation of their voice and likeness. The news comes as Hollywood creatives continue to grapple with the rapid advancements of artificial intelligence. Although many in Hollywood have secretly embraced AI tools in recent years, tensions between entertainment industry professionals and AI developers have remained high as artists express concern about the potential for such tools to steal their likeness and take their labor. SAG-AFTRA's attempt last year to funnel some compensation toward voice actors by striking a licensing deal with an AI company also faced backlash from some in the industry who opposed such cooperation altogether. Before signing on Monday's statement, the talent agency CAA had slammed OpenAI for exposing our clients and their intellectual property to significant risk by allowing Sora 2 users to generate videos containing copyrighted IP, such as the depiction of famous and fictional and animated characters. Krantz also said in the post that he brought up his concerns with Sora 2 to SAG-AFTRA, feeling deeply concerned not just for myself, but for all performers whose work and identity can be misused in this way. In the first few weeks after launch, videos of Sora watermark clips featuring copyrighted characters such as SpongeBob SquarePants, Pikachu, and Mario flooded the internet. Prior to launch, Wall Street Journal had reported that Sora 2 would let users generate materials protected by copyright unless the copyright holders opted out of having their work appear. Now, however, requests to generate such clips on the Sora app return error message stating that the prompt may violate our guardrails concerning third-party likeness or similarity to third-party content. Well, it's like what I've been using with the Canva AI-generated images. I can't just have them make Mickey Mouse for me.
Right.
Though oddly enough, Donald Duck, it came kind of close.
Yeah.
The joint statement also expressed support for No Fakes Act, which aims to hold individuals, companies, and platforms liable for producing or hosting unauthorized deepfakes. The bill, which was introduced in the Senate in April, has not moved forward in Congress. We were an early supporter of the No Fakes Act when it was introduced last year and will always be behind the rights of performers, Altman wrote in Monday's statement. Well, I'm worried, too, that this fake stuff is you're going to start seeing political leaders saying stuff that they haven't said. I've already heard audio fakes. Like I heard one of Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and Barack Obama debating what the best Zelda games were.
So far,
I mean, it's
and I have seen, and mostly it's obvious because they're humorous, using actual footage and then AI audio, and then AI goes in and makes the lips match up. And honestly, it's really hard to tell. If it weren't for the fact that it's so off the wall funny, you'd think it was real. But every time I see this stuff hit X, it's getting the community note, this is AI. This is AI. And you can, there's also a feature that you could do on literally any article you see on X. You just ask Grok, is this real or is this AI? I saw pretty good about that.
I saw Michael Jackson stealing someone's chicken dinner in a Popeyes or something. In that, and like he's doing his dancing.
You gotta watch out. You know, when you're in those, if you got yourself a good meal, hold on to it, protect it.
I guess it doesn't make any sense. And I think I saw the one with SpongeBob being arrested by the police or something. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But what do you think, though?
I don't think it's about what I think. I think we should find out what Nate has to say. Our man in the street.
Let's go to our man. Yes.
Right now. Well, folks, I'm sorry. I can't bring it to you because we got no sound.
We will have it ready next time.
We'll have to try this again another time. But
it's a beautiful video. We wish you could see it, but next time,
absolutely,
we'll do a test. I should have thought of it earlier too. I could have reminded you, but Yeah, I
Well,
know, Geek
yeah, no,
Flag.
I uploaded it. The video is just fine, but I'm having problems with EVMux. I've got a ticket in, but of course they don't help you during the weekend, so I may not be renewing with them in February. Just saying.
Yeah. So, like I said, we will try this again, Geek Flag. It's a great video. Thank you for sharing it, and we will have it on one of these streams. Trust me. You're doing good work. In fact, you made an interesting CG of Troy here for Friday's stream. Remember?
Oh my gosh, that was so good. That was just so good. I don't know what platform he uses, but they actually do look like the people that he's trying to emulate. There's one of Netter with the Horror King and I Am the 13th Child, and the lip sync actually turned out really good. It was really, really neat.
Cool.
Good
cool
stuff.
Beans.
And when are you going to show that one?
I showed it on Friday, and I'll show it again all this week on Liquid Lunch. Oh, God, here we go.
Somebody's poor machine.
That's when you're not doing well at your Call of Dude, bro, and you throw it against the wall, you know.
Or you're just sick and tired of the way Microsoft is jerking you around.
Oh, okay. So let's see here. After Xbox price hikes, Microsoft is now reportedly raising the cost of Xbox development kits. Seemingly not content with just raising the price of Xbox Series X and S consoles, Xbox Game Pass subscriptions, Microsoft now reportedly turning its attention to Xbox development kits. A report on The Verge reveals that the development kits, custom Xbox units made specifically for game development, will jump in price from $1,500 to $2,000. That's according to a source close to The Verge, an announcement to developers from Xbox shared with the outlet. The alleged announcement states that the $500 price jump reflects macroeconomic developments, something we've heard before from the most recent Xbox console price increases earlier this October. We remain committed to providing high-quality tools and support for your development efforts. Xbox added in the announcements. While Xbox's latest console price increases are reserved for U.S. consumers for now, it's reported that this will not be the case for Xbox development kits, with 33% hike applying to developers worldwide. So, obviously, there are all kinds of game developers. You have the big publishers, right?
Yep.
And then you have the indie developers who may be working by themselves in their garage, making their video game by themselves, and now they're going to have to pay an extra $500 to get one of these development kits.
Right. Well, what does that tell you? I mean, there is an underlying message being sent there. We don't want you. We don't want you doing stuff for us. Go away.
Geek Flag, F Microsoft, and
yeah,
Nintendo.
I don't disagree with him. Yeah, I don't disagree with him.
My big thing with Nintendo is the whole game key card nonsense. That's my main thing. But it's getting hard out there. Well, also, you have Sony employing developers that were ragging on Charlie Kirk after his passing, which also did not sit well with me.
It doesn't sit well with any normal human being.
Yeah, it's just awful. So yeah, that's gone up in price. Let's just read all the Xbox articles. Okay, after releasing a $1,000 handheld, Microsoft has said its next-gen Xbox console is going to be very premium, very high-end curated experience.
In other words, very, very expensive.
I'm hearing someone online was mentioning, I know you think $999.99, and he's saying no, he's thinking $1,199.99. He thinks they're going to try it.
Getting ridiculous. And look, if you go out and drop the money on this, or do a prepay or something like that, all you're doing is enabling this. So you must enjoy throwing away money. Is the only way I can see it.
Let's see. I'll read a little bit from the article, but how much will it cost and just how powerful will it be? In an interview with Mashable, Xbox President Sarah Bond talked in vague terms about what Microsoft is going to go for with this next console, but did suggest it will be a premium hybrid PC and console. The next-gen console is going to be very premium, very high-end curated experience, Bond said. You're starting to see some of the thinking we have in this handheld, the ROG Xbox Ally, but I don't want to give it all away. That's a reference.
No, you're not going to give it all away. You're raising the prices to ridiculous levels.
The whole Xbox Ally X thing confuses me to no end because this is not the Xbox Portable that got canceled. I think this is something else that Xbox slapped its name on, and some people were acting like it's just like a portable. I don't get it. But yeah, so and of course the final nail in the coffin, which came out recently. Well, it's not the final nail tonight. We got another one. But inside Xbox's profit pressure, how a 30% margin target is reshaping everything. So over the summer,
when you see this, you suddenly go, oh my gosh, it doesn't make sense, but you understand it suddenly. You know?
I believe this was from Windows Central. Yeah, I wish I had known about this a couple months ago. This guy actually did not report on it because he said he thought it was a rumor, and he says, "Oh, there's no validity to this," and now it turns out it's true. So,
and you can understand that, right? It sounds so freaking ridiculous. You can't believe it. It's like, oh yeah, this can't possibly be true.
So over the summer, I said on my Xbox 2 podcast that I'd heard a rumor that Microsoft was forcing Xbox to deliver a 30% profit margin. However, unable to land enough concrete evidence, I'd hoped the insane figure had been hearsay. It must have been, right? Apparently it isn't. Bloomberg reporters Dana Bass and Jason Schreier just revealed that Microsoft CFO Amy Hood is indeed asking Xbox to meet an accountability margin of 30%, which is far, far in excess of reasonable targets for the video game industry. And in particular, the gaming hardware industry. Over the past few years, Microsoft's gaming division has undergone some insane and self-destructive transition, cutting studios, slashing marketing budgets, and sprinting to release games on rival platforms to the detriment of its own. Yeah, they've been laying off a lot of people, too.
Yeah.
And Microsoft has also rapidly hiked prices, harming customers while laying off literal thousands, reducing any semblance of goodwill Xbox had left to zero. The changes, according to Bloomberg, coincide with Microsoft CFO Amy Hood taking a greater role in the gaming business at Xbox. The 30% profit demands are far beyond industry averages, which range in the low 20s at best. So yes, normally from what I heard, it's between 10 and 20% profit. That's considered normal in the video game industry. Like if you get between those, you're doing okay. Whereas if you're doing 30%, that's never been done before. So, but apparently this CFO is expecting the Xbox division to do this. So, what are we doing? We're raising the prices of consoles. We're raising the prices of Game Pass, charging more for development kits. Now, this is all starting to make more sense. And I can only think that this is to get to that 30% this year in the short term, and I can think in the long term, it's going to collapse the entire.
Yes, it is.
Or division of Microsoft. I don't understand this.
I mean, if it doesn't, again, I have to say, what the hell are the buyers thinking? It's like, really? Do you really have that much disposable income that you could afford to do this? Really?
The cancellation of promising games like Perfect Dark, Contraband, and others, a direct result of Xbox's leads Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, and Tim Stewart attempting to balance Microsoft's corporate demands without tanking the entire business. Okay, my prediction is Phil Spencer has an exit strategy, maybe even a golden parachute to get out of here. Sarah Bond's going to take the fall. Her career will be in ruins, and I think people... hardcore Xbox people online, like a gentleman that ran an Xbox podcast is going to have, he said he's going to have to stop. They're going to have to rebrand and start doing something else because this isn't sustainable. No one's going to like Xbox. Customers are pissed, to put it bluntly, and it's over. And there was an update though. Microsoft has provided the following statement, which was offered in parts of the original report from Bloomberg. We take a long-term view in how we run our business and set goals. We aim high but stay flexible, knowing that success doesn't look the same across every project or priority. We look at the business as a whole, balancing creativity, innovation, sustainability across a diverse portfolio of offerings. As with any creative business, sometimes that means making hard decisions and stopping works on things that are no longer working for a variety of reasons and shifting resources toward the projects that are more aligned with our direction and priorities. And while each team and project might vary from each other, one goal we share across the whole business is to make great games and deliver experiences our players will enjoy for years to come.
Yeah.
Including an attempted price hike of the games to $80. No one's done that but Nintendo.
And this
with
reminds
Mario
me
Kart.
of the dingbat that we were talking about a few weeks back, who was like, if these people are real fans, they'll pay it. It's like, okay, then we're not real fans, and you're left holding an empty bag, you dumbass. So I was telling you in the backdrop, I have two different theories on this. One is that it's just greed. It's just stupid greed by stupid people who should not have these jobs. That is my first inclination. The other possibility is, because you had kind of alluded to this, again, the backdrop, is this somebody who just wants to destroy the industry? It could be. It could be just stupid, neo-Marxists that are just trying to destroy all institutions because, rebuild from scratch and destroy everything that, is capitalist. I suppose that's a possibility. I don't know if I almost feel like I would rather it be someone who has made this decision and is trying to sabotage the company than it's someone so stupid that they don't understand what they're doing and how they're destroying the business.
I can't tell if it's incompetence or if it's a big plan. I don't understand this. But I do know that the direct result, if they were wanting to piss off their loyal fan base, they've succeeded. They're all running for the hills.
They've succeeded in spades, yes, absolutely.
And this was the cherry on top of the sundae right here. Halo campaign evolved, coming to PlayStation 5. Now,
here we go.
I need to explain this to you. Microsoft has slowly been porting its Xbox exclusives over to other consoles and PC and whatever, and consoles. But the PlayStation 5 is Xbox Series X direct competitor. And this would basically be like if Nintendo was bringing Super Mario Odyssey or Super Mario, one of the Mario games, out on their competing platform. Halo is Xbox. It's always been the Xbox exclusive. This and Gears of War, and apparently the Gears of War, the new Gears of War game is also coming out on PlayStation 5. So they no longer have exclusives. So it's like, well, why don't I just buy the game on the PlayStation 5 where the console is still more reasonably priced?
Yeah, good point.
It's gone up though since we talked about, but you can still buy a lower end for more reasonable than some of the Xbox offerings, and half the time the games run better. In fact, I would imagine when this game comes out on the PlayStation 5, it'll run better on the PlayStation 5 than the Xbox Series X, even though this is a Microsoft-made game and was supposed to be a Series X exclusive. Because that's what happened with the Senua game that they released. They said on Xbox, we can only make it 30 frames, but it's better preserve the cinematic experience, blah, blah. And then they bring it out later on PlayStation. It's going to be 60 frames. You lied, man.
Yeah.
You're lying. Either your own team doesn't know how to work the Xbox Series software, or it's not as powerful as you've been claiming it is. And I just don't. I think a bunch of morons in charge of the gaming industry, and they have no clue what they're doing. Here's the thing. All of the three companies, in my opinion, have problems. You have Sony with their very, I'm going to use the phrase, woke development teams, like the ones that worked on that new Ghosts of Yotai, which were talking about Charlie Kirk, when all you have to do is keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
That's all you don't even have to express sympathy if you don't want to. You're not required to do that. You just keep your mouth shut. I'm not even going to repeat what they said. I can tell you that in the green room if you want. But I'm just... a month before your game comes out, and they screwed up Halo. Well, here's what I heard too, and yeah, in the God of War series. Well, here the thing with this Halo game, one of the original developers of Halo was looking at this, and he's already saying, "I've already looked at this, and they're screwing it up." He said that I guess you're in some vehicle, and like you weren't allowed in the original game to drive your truck, or I guess your all-terrain vehicle into a certain area. And the guy did that on purpose because you weren't supposed to, because it would have been a game-breaking feature if you drove up there. It was like there was a game reason for not having you, so he put rocks in front of this ridge so you couldn't get the truck up there. But he says in this version they're putting it there, and he argues they're not realizing something. Also, I want to point something out. Campaign Evolved, there's no multiplayer. It's just the main single-player campaign. There's not the local co-op mode. There isn't the online multiplayer. It's just the campaign, and that's the remake, because that's what they call it, Campaign Evolved. Yeah. No one's excited for this. I think Microsoft bought out Activision. They're buying up all these developers, and what are they doing with them? They released a Tony Hawk game with none of the music.
Yeah, exactly.
How can Activision in the early 2000s release the music? And when they did the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remastered, they were able to put most of the music on there. And obviously there are going to be a couple tracks they couldn't get the right rights to. That's understandable. Right. I understand all these years later. But I heard with this one, a lot of the artists said they didn't even call us to see if they could put it in the 3 and 4 remaster. And I'm
Which
blaming
just
Microsoft.
tells you
I think it was a cost-cutting measure.
Yeah, they didn't care how cheaply they got it. They didn't want to spend any money on it.
And as a result, I didn't buy the game.
Right.
And then Tony Hawk was saying, well, we wanted to introduce new bands because we were new players. If you want to introduce new bands, make a new Tony Hawk game.
Right.
Not a remake. When people buy a remake of 3 and 4, they're expecting the music from 3 and 4.
Exactly.
They didn't even have the AC/DC song on there that was in the original. Anyway, but this is where we are. Halo Campaign Evolved. I actually feel bad for Xbox fans. I'm very happy I didn't buy an Xbox Series X. I came close once, and then I opted not to get one. And I don't understand what their plan was. Microsoft did something pretty smart earlier on when they were going up against PlayStation 5. You know what they did? They actually... Remember when those chips were in short supply, those certain chips that people needed for all the electronics? And that's why PlayStation 5 was out in such short supply? Well, they actually bought a bunch of them. They paid extra for them, just so they would have more Xbox Series consoles on the market. And I thought that was actually a smart thing to do, and it cost them money, but it kept them in the game. And now here we are.
Welcome, Ejecta Curtain, if we didn't say hi to you before. I can't think of the last new game I bought. Yeah, I understand. We were talking about, in the backdrop, something I saw online just today, or maybe it was yesterday. Somebody showing footage of a game from, 10 years ago. And it's like, this is what it used to look like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Games now don't look this good. And people were basically saying, well, it's because they don't have the talent. They don't have the editorial wherewithal, basic artistic talent. And they're going, oh yeah, you're all just saying it's woke. No, that's not what people are saying. Those are problems too. But it is the quality of the work now. Yeah, you could call it woke. You could call it DEI hires. You can call it whatever. I don't care what the reason is. You're hiring people and getting rid of good talent. And whatever your reason for doing it, stuff sucks now.
Here's what happened. People think, people aren't buying the woke games because they're woke. This is what happens. The woke game comes out, and they're actually not well made, because a game is supposed to play well. It's supposed to be fine-tuned, not have glitches, do all this other stuff. And then they release it, and then eventually, if they think a game is woke, the woke becomes associated with bad mechanics in the game.
Right.
And that's why people aren't buying it, because I'm sorry. Games are a commitment, not just financially with money, but also with time. You're not going to waste your time wanting to play a bad game. And I don't think it's a coincidence that I'm a big fan of Night Dive Studios and the fact that they're releasing all of these old games from like the late 90s and early 2000s that are remastered, and they clean them up and they make them look kind of modern, actually. And like the new Blood game coming out, the refresh supply, these old boomer shooters, and the kids are playing them. Because they never played them before, and they don't think they're out of date, and they're buying the old stuff, and it's cheaper. than the AAA stuff. So
Right.
I don't get
Exactly.
it. I mean, for heaven's sakes, you could buy Doom and just have endless fun with all the mods on it. It's
Yeah, that's
ridiculous.
true. Yeah.
Speaking of games, or actually, I want you and Netter to comment on this too, because I'm very
Okay.
curious about this. This was a big disaster that happened at TwitchCon. This was all over
Yeah.
the internet this week, and this was a late one, but I put it in here. I don't follow Twitch. That's a platform where people play games or have toxic political opinions. Actually, I'm not going to get into that.
Mm-hmm.
You know that Hassan Piker fellow?
Yeah.
The guy that runs Twitch is a big fan of his and has probably kept him on the platform, even though he's probably violated things that other people have gotten canceled for on there, But let me move on to. Okay, yeah, hold on. Let me get the article. I didn't even bother reading the Halo article. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Where is it? Okay, here we are. Sorry, I lost my place.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if I'm saying her name right, Imaru. I'm going to say Imaru.
Emeru.
Okay, yeah.
Emeru.
Blasted Twitch's safety protocol, saying the event security staff didn't protect her. Multiple women streamers had expressed fears about their safety at TwitchCon. The assault of popular cosplayer at Twitch's annual live streaming convention has intensified concerns about seemingly lackluster safety protocols at TwitchCon. On Friday, the first of a 3-day convention in San Diego, videos circulated online of a man walking up to the streamer Imaru at a meet and greet and appearing to grab her for a kiss as she tries to push him away.
Not appearing. It's very clear what was happening.
No, you can tell what's happening. Yeah, her security
Yeah.
guard I swear, is this article running cover?
I don't know.
Her security guard quickly intervenes and drives the man away. I want to make a point. Her
very
security
important
guard.
point. Her security, not the convention security, who is standing literally right next to her, and like all soy boy sheepish. I can't do nothing because I'm a wimp.
Well, yeah, and I heard others were in the background of the security, and they were kind of laughing or something. Like they weren't even paying attention to what was going on. And okay, but it gets worse from here because you're figuring, okay, this stuff happens. Security wasn't in the right place at the right time. Stuff happens, right? Or unless
this
guy next to her,
security was absolutely
blue hair
in the right place
the
at
blue
the
hair
right time
guy
and didn't do squat.
who had a blank face, who had a blank expression on his face.
Yeah.
You gotta do something, man. I don't care. Even if you're out in public and you see someone being assaulted, you gotta say something. It's like,
Yeah.
her security guard quickly intervenes and drives the man away. The popular cosplayer Emily Beth Schunk, 27, knows online as Imaru, has nearly 2 million followers on Twitch, where she streams gaming, cosplay, and other variety content. She is also a co-owner and content creator for the gaming media production brand One True King. To many fans online, her assault validated long-running fears about streamer safety at in-person events, particularly scheduled meet and greets where fans know exactly where a particular creator will be ahead of time. Some streamers online claim they canceled their meet and greets and skipped last year's TwitchCon altogether because of existing concerns about security, while others said they plan to shun future TwitchCons in solidarity with Imaru. Some online further pointed to the long-time culture of toxicity against women against gaming communities. Well, I'm talking about the security here, which after Friday's assault, Imaru blasted Twitch for the way the event organizers handled the situation, writing a statement on X that the man was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon, and even in front of another creator's meet and greet to grab me and my face and try to kiss me. Only her personal security guard stepped in, she wrote, while multiple TwitchCon security staff members did not react and let the guy walk away. Well, we saw this, didn't we?
Yep.
Twitch responded in a statement on X that the convention increased security at the meet and greet attendee check-in point, that it will no longer accommodate +1s, and that it has added security personnel around participating streamers. In line with existing TwitchCon security protocols, law enforcement event security were on site and responded to the incident, Twitch wrote. We immediately blocked this individual from returning to TwitchCon premises, and they are banned indefinitely from Twitch, both online and in-person events. Imaru, however, called Twitch's response a blatant lie, writing in her statement that her assailant was not immediately caught or detained. He was allowed to walk away from my meet and greet, and I didn't hear he was caught until hours after he attacked me, she wrote. And it felt like this only happened because of my manager pressing for it, not because TwitchCon staff present thought it was a big deal. She added in a video that her manager contacted police shortly after the incident and she plans to press charges at the bare minimum. She also said Twitch had planned to suspend the man on the platform for 30 days before it decided on an indefinite ban after she pushed back. 30 days?
Yeah. Why? In what world do you think that's taking the milk, finding it chunky, and then putting it back, hoping it'll be better tomorrow?
Yes. Representatives for Twitch and Amaru did not immediately respond for requests for additional comment. San Diego Police Department confirmed that on Friday afternoon, a man was reported grabbing a woman's shoulders and attempting to kiss her during a meet and greet at TwitchCon. Security intervened and removed the male, who fled the area. Police Department spokesperson told NBC News in a statement. San Diego police officers responded to the incident, but no arrests have been made at this time. The incident comes a month after some of the platform's biggest female streamers shared their fears about safety at TwitchCon. Well, she made a point too that she can afford to pay for security. A lot of streamers can't.
That's
Especially
right.
ones just starting out and trying to get their name out there.
Which is why a lot of these people haven't been able to do anything about it and are now coming out. This could go to a class action lawsuit as a result.
Yeah, it's regardless of whether or not she had her own security there.
Yeah.
The con security were lax.
And
Would require them
effectively
instantly.
non-existent.
And you've dealt with security at cons, right?
Yes.
And you know what the protocols are. And from what you're seeing here, they were
Absolutely.
not following the protocols.
It's like, in fact, when we were doing one particular con, our leader, even because we had discovered that there might be some trouble of some like ex-husband or ex-boyfriends were coming, he packed his
There was a
pew-pew.
restraining order, so
Yeah.
there was a legal situation.
Yeah, so he
there,
packed his pew-pew that we kept out of sight and everything, but he
Yes.
had there, in case something went down, he was prepared to take
Yep.
this guy down, so he didn't hurt anybody.
Yep.
It's like, you are prepared. You are always looking around, you're always seeing what's going on. You see somebody that looks sketchy, you step in and go, excuse me, you need to step out of line.
So what I've been seeing a lot, and you know who is also a our person in the field is Marc Malnekoff. He's still very involved with the cons and con security, and he's been talking a lot about the lack of security because who is it that they're, this is basically the same problem I was talking about with the gaming industry. You're getting rid of all the people that are actually professional, right? And then you're bringing in all of these multicolor-haired weirdos who you don't clap because that could cause people to get nervous. So we snap our fingers.
Point
right?
of personal privilege. Yes.
Point of personal privilege. Yes, exactly. These morons. And it's like, no. Security is security, or they shouldn't be there. And the people that are volunteering for these security positions just want to get into the convention for free and hang out with their friends and not do any actual work. Socialists. So that's what you end up with in this kind of a thing. And I said to you behind the scenes, when you sent me this article, I'm like, are you kidding me? TwitchCon is still a thing? Because we brought to you the thing last year, or was it the year before? Adriana Chekic? I don't know what her adult entertainment name is, but
Right.
her legal name, Adriana,
Right.
broke her back in two places in one of their events, jumping into a foam pit that wasn't put together properly.
What?
And yeah, we talked about this. We did
That's
this.
right. Yeah, we did. Okay.
She leapt off. It was one of those, kind of like American Gladiator type things. And when she was done, she leapt off the stand she was on into the foam pit because it's a foam pit. It's supposed to, be soft and cushioned. She goes straight through to the concrete floor below and breaks her back in two places. Which I guess her daytime job was an adult entertainer, specializing in a specific kind of act that,
Right.
well, without getting too into it,
Yes.
she can't do her job, let's say.
Yes.
And if you don't work, you don't get paid, and if you don't get paid, that runs into money. So now she's. I don't know what the overall. I think there was a settlement out
Was
of
she going to
court
sue?
with TwitchCon.
Well, you know
She
who
did.
owns?
No, she did absolutely.
Okay.
She had no choice.
You know who owns Twitch? It's Amazon, and Amazon needs to take a look. I've seen the guy that runs it, and he reminds me. Who is the villain on Cobra Kai? Not the not Kreese, the other guy.
Oh,
white
I know
hair.
what you mean.
I forget now, but yeah, he reminds me of him. He strikes me as an older man that's trying to act younger than he is.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know, it's freaking me out a little bit, and he strikes me as a creeper, the guy that runs Twitch, to be honest with you. And
I would not be surprised, and so I don't, and I want to be very Terry Silver. That's who you're.
Terry Silver, yeah, he reminds me of Terry
Thank you,
Silver.
Horror Cat Dad. Let me be very clear here. I am not blaming the victim here, but I don't understand any of these girls still going to Twitch. Well, I guess I kind of do. You go to these things because this is part of your job. This is part of you promoting your
I think
Twitch
she
identity.
wanted to do something else, and by contract she had to do the meet and greet. I could be wrong. I thought I heard something
But
like
that's
that.
exactly why her lawsuit should just slam them. Because
Yeah.
I was under contract to do this thing, and it was your obligation to protect me. You did not. Oh, she's got a wonderful case here. I hope she friggin' destroys them.
And she seems like a normal, nice young woman, and it's ridiculous that she was just you know.
Why do I hear Nate in Lou Costello's voice? I'm a bad boy.
Was that the guy who was saying it as he was leaving? Yeah, I don't know.
No. He was just saying he was making a joke.
Well, you know what she thought? She thought when
Adriana.
he was coming up to her that he was some guy from the convention telling her like there was a mic issue or something, and then suddenly he leans in for that. You know, like she didn't even register that it was some creeper at first. You know, it was just and luckily her security was there. They were doing their jobs, which is good.
Her security. Well, here's another. I would say problem with it. Her security was not physically there with her. They were backstage. They saw it and they said, "We're going."
They were fast.
You can't keep us from doing it. They should have been able to be there, and they weren't. They were told you have to stay backstage.
Ridiculous.
They had Nancy Boy standing next to her doing nothing.
Who did nothing, but he had an interesting hairstyle, right?
Oh.
Are we over this yet? It's 2025. When does the culture change?
Men need to frickin' man up already.
Yeah, I hate to use the word soy boy, but I see that guy and I'm just.
I mean, I think that whole thing gives soy a bad name at this point. It's like I didn't even know girls that were this Nancy back in my day.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and I'm glad that she wasn't hurt, but she could have been. That's the problem. I mean, the guy had a knife; they wouldn't be able to do anything.
He did. He had apparently. Well,
What?
I saw the footage. I don't know what he had in his hand, but it has been said that he did have a knife
Wow.
in his hand.
He might have tried to do something.
It was something he had in his hand. I don't know what it was, but others have said it was a knife. How that gets into the convention, I don't know, because as a cosplayer, I know you can't even go in with a plastic or wooden knife these days.
Remember when only tough guys had tattoos? Yes, men need to learn there is no such thing as toxic masculinity. Yes, and they need to,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. But I wish her well, and I hope that Twitch is made to pay for this, because frankly, they, it's like other streaming platforms. They need to get their act together. Okay.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Disney's Hulu cancellation rates doubled amid Jimmy Kimmel's suspension and price hikes. Let me explain something to you. I from what I've heard, even after they reinstated Kimmel, people were still mad at Disney and still canceling over this, which I think is great. So normally we hear the far left canceling people, really. But this is, I think, a time when they're actually canceling a corporation that has done nothing but placate to them over recent years. So I find this fascinating. ABC's decision to suspend Jimmy Kimmel's late night show last month drove a surge in cancellations of Disney Plus and Hulu streaming services by consumers outraged over the move. However, both services also saw an increase in the number of signups during the month of September, which helped offset those nixing their subscriptions, according to the data released Monday. You know what? I'm already calling BS on the surge.
Yeah.
I think that's Disney trying to say, "Oh, well, these people subscribed."
Well,
yeah.
And when it's Disney saying this, we already know Disney lies about their numbers. They have no credibility anymore.
Yeah. No, people are still canceling Disney Plus, but it ain't had nothing to do with Jimmy Kimmel. Okay. Yeah. Well, there you go. Maybe that's what it is. I just.
Well, that's true. The cancellations were happening before Jimmy Kimmel, so there is that point as well. There's multiple reasons people are fleeing Disney minus.
I'm tired of talking about this guy.
I know.
I really am. I just brought it up here though because I just think it's proof that people were canceling. And
I think we do need to talk about it because we kind of have an obligation to keep people apprised of these ridiculous circumstances.
So the latest HBO Max and Disney Plus price increases make it clear the dream of streaming is dead.
Yeah.
Do you remember? That was our big thing. We started out this whole show. It was about streaming wars, right?
Yep.
We were there from the beginning of this nonsense.
And we were saying, and we weren't the only ones. I remember Tom Connors over at Midnight Edge going on and on about this. What is their revenue? What is their revenue model? They are not making any more. The more people that are watching stuff on their channel, they don't make more money. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And they're forgetting all the lessons that they learned from the cable days. But whatever. And they've been propped up. Well, for a brief time, they could hide behind the pandemic, right? It's like, well, you can't go to the movies, so we're gonna stream stuff, and that's how we'll make money. But they were propped up by the big corporations that were purposely taking losses on it in the hopes that they would be the last man standing later on. That has not happened. Everyone is just losing their shirt on this whole streaming concept. And I don't know, man.
This is what I think streaming did. I think streaming did damage to movie box office because people just wait for the movie to come to streaming, right? But there's that. But I think the real damage streaming did, I think streaming destroyed television.
You're not wrong. Yeah, that is true.
I think by putting all these things behind these big paywalls, suddenly it's no longer something that everybody is watching, because part of television watching was you would talk to people at your workplace or your friends about, did you see that latest episode? Did you see what happened? And the last show I remember being like that was Game of Thrones when it was on, how people would talk about what happened. But like other shows in the past, like Lost, or maybe the latest episode of Seinfeld or Frasier, people would watch stuff. They would talk about season finales. And now I feel that, with the exception of maybe some Netflix shows like Stranger Things, I don't really know people who are really talking about a lot of these shows.
But even like Stranger Things is limited by the fact that only so many people subscribe to this streaming service. Yeah. See, this is the problem. This is the difference between network television, which everyone had access to, and these premium channels that only people that subscribe to them have. That's the problem. So what we've seen is Netflix is trying to reproduce that what they call water cooler talk, by not letting people binge stuff, by putting it out on a weekly basis. Well, that's fine. That's great. You can do that. All that does is it staggers it for the people subscribing to your channel. It doesn't make it available to everybody in the office. Maybe 10% of the people in the office actually are even able to watch the show, and how many of them are actually watching the show? That's the problem. So you don't get that word of mouth.
I never hear people talk about TV anymore. It used to be a thing I had growing up, and they don't do it. I think another problem too, and I don't know what's causing this. Dude, seasons are supposed to be year to year.
Yep.
I don't understand this. We're going to film a season and then not do another season for another 3 years. And this is
Yeah.
happening with the latest Stranger Things. It's like, you guys got to, they used to do like 26 episode seasons back in the day
Netter
and
was
just
the
keep rolling
first
them out.
person-
Well, go ahead.
I
Yeah.
think Netter was the first person that I know of to mention this, that I never even thought about it until she mentioned it. She's like, it's been so long since I've seen this show because it's been on hiatus for so long. I forgot what's going on the show. I don't care anymore. I lost interest.
And then there's shows where you think they're going to get another season, and then you realize later on, oh, that was canceled. I remembered Perry Mason, the HBO Perry Mason show, that had its second season, and that took forever to get its second season. And I don't know why. I thought it was a hit, and then it comes out, finally gets season 2, and then I find out, where is that show now? It was canceled like a year ago, and I'm like, well, there's no momentum anymore. It's like, is there even point in investing in a new show when they keep canceling it?
You know what? Nate makes a great point here. This is why I say streaming services like Tubi will be sitting on top when streaming wars when the streaming wars end, because it's free and everybody has access to it, and advertising can show commercials. Yes, that's exactly it. Tubi and Pluto TV and others like that are the closest thing we have now
to the old
a streaming version of commercial television. Yeah, he's right. That's a great point, Nate.
But I have to tell you, though, some of those commercials now that I'm seeing, I know they're using AI in them. I know those are AI people, like the low price commercials. I've seen them, but like if you, I was watching some channel to watch like an old Charlie Chan movie. And it was one of these free streamers, and you have these old people like watching like they're advertising their own service. Oh, if you pay, you get it for free, and then you don't have to watch commercials. And you see these old people all excited. I'm like, those aren't real people. Those are AI. Created images of people getting excited.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, let's go into it though. Not for the first or last time, we find ourselves questioning the wisdom of cutting the cord. Supposedly, the dawn of streaming era was meant to free us from the shackles of cable instead of prepackaged collection of channels to choose from. The ability to subscribe to streaming services and bundles to get all of our entertainment beamed straight to our devices was hailed as an industry game changer. Netflix and Apple TV were among the first to pioneer the new tech well before the rest, but Disney Plus and HBO Max and all the others soon followed suit. Fast forward a handful of years, however, and consumers are once again find themselves on the short end of the streaming stick. Streaming is now just cable, but worse, drum incessantly for quite some time now. Well, that's because we have, despite all the promises and platitudes that this was unequivocally the future of the business, we've received almost nothing but a steady stream of red flags suggesting the exact opposite. TV shows with images that are too digitally compressed or lack decent lighting. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to point to any specific streamer. Netflix, cough. Entire studio libraries that have a habit of being removed or vanished overnight without any warning. Yes. And yes, constant subscription increases that you can set your clocks to have become just a few of the troubling ones we've seen deal with over the past several years. There's nothing Hollywood loves more than a... Hold on, I lost my space. Anyway, though, what do you think so far, huh?
No, I think I've said my piece on this whole streaming thing. It's.
Well, I think the mainstream media is finally catching up, though, right?
Yes, yeah, I think that's it. I think that we've been talking about this for so long. This is not new to us.
Yeah. So moving on to, and speaking of streaming series, there was another one that was announced. Oh wait, here we go. Troy, I say this is why streaming services like Tubi. Yeah, you already mentioned that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to Daily Wire releases trailer for fantasy series The Pendragon Cycle.
Yeah.
I watched it. Released trailer for its first live action series, The Pendragon Cycle: Rise of the Merlin. I have a question. Have you read these books?
I have not. No.
I guess it's another adaptation.
I've heard a
of
lot of
Arthurian
people,
legends.
Recommend it. I haven't seen it. I don't know.
By Stephen R. Lawhead is set to premiere January 22nd on Daily Wire Plus with the conservative outlets SVOD platform. The show created and executive produced by Daily Wire co-founder Jeremy Boring, who also directed some of the series, is a retelling of Arthurian legend that's set in the Roman-dominated land that will eventually become Britain during the 4th through 6th centuries. In a statement, Boring said that the Pendragon cycle is a culmination of a 10-year vision to create culture, not just criticize it. Lawhead's novels present a visceral masculine Christianity in the world of conflict and mystery. It isn't saccharine or clean. In short, it's a very much like our world. I'm so happy to share our adaptation and the work of our remarkable cast and crew with the Daily Wire audience. The trailer looked decent. It's a limited series. It looks like another King Arthur adaptation. A lot of British actors, it looks like, on the show. So
Yeah.
at least they have that going forward. Okay. Yes. Go ahead.
I hate to be the.
It's okay. We need you to be negative. It's fine.
But you know, I was excited about what they were doing, what Jeremy Boring was doing over there when he brought in Gina
Carano.
So
yes.
But when he didn't keep it up and so little happened, I saw the one movie that they did with her and I liked it, but it's like you need to follow success after success, and then you know the whole screw up with their Snow White and losing Brett Cooper over it. It's like, okay, you guys.
She's in this series too. She has a small part.
For her,
which is awkward. And I mean, she's been positive about the trailer, obviously, because she's not going to badmouth something she worked on. But
exactly. But I don't now feel like rushing out to subscribe to the Daily Wire just because of this anymore.
Why are they still doing this streaming nonsense? Why don't they be like Angel Studios and try to sell these things to streamers?
I'm gonna.
Someone would pick it up. I'm sorry, they wouldn't care.
I'll put the fine point on that. It is that Jeremy Boring thought he could do this, and he has no clue what it takes to produce film and streaming shows. He doesn't understand the business model. He's just someone who said, "Oh, I could do that." No, you can't. You don't have enough knowledge, and you didn't bother to bring in the people that did. That's the problem.
I guess so. They really dropped the ball with that Snow White.
Yeah, they did. They really did. Like hard. Like egg on their face hard.
Oh, wait a minute. Jessica Hardo says something. Hold on. Is this streaming show is taking so long because they are waiting for the results of the first season after 1 year airing? And depending, you mean the normal streaming things, or are they going to do that with this? And if they make a season 2, are they going to get Brett Cooper back? I don't think so. They're going to have to. Maybe they'll recast her with a replacement over at the Daily Wire. No,
which is just going to put another negative light on them in the news cycle, which is not going to be beneficial to them.
I can't speak to them. I had a free trial of Daily Wire to watch some of the Saturday morning cartoons, which are, that's unfortunate because I actually thought they had the right idea there, especially with the stuff Netflix is putting out,
It's that whole thing that I talk about with, you're more upset because of how good it could have been. You bought the hype, you bought, what the intent was, and you get pissed at them for not following through. That's the problem.
I just think that I think they should have followed the Angel Studios model and
I agree.
Just done that with this stuff. And because I mean the Chosen shows up everywhere. If you want to watch it, you can find it many places. Amazon has it. If you have a local church streaming service, you can watch it through there because usually they license it out or whatever. It's very popular. Who knows? That might be one of the top. That's probably one of the top TV shows of this decade. Is probably The Chosen. But I just don't know. I feel like they've kind of dropped the ball. I kind of feel bad on some level because I admitted that we did need someone challenging Hollywood. I just feel that they went all in on the streaming thing like everybody else, not realizing Hollywood was the one messing up. This might have been the time for them to be more independent and try selling their stuff to other services, right?
Exactly. And Nate brings up a song that I haven't thought of in years. Could have been so beautiful. Could have been so right. Yeah. And they just blew it. They really, really did. That's
All right.
sad.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yep.
All right, moving on to Shout Factory is not shutting down. Okay.
I'm not so sure, but we'll see.
Fanzine has been doing a lot of coverage on this.
Yeah. Yeah, he has.
Lost my spot again.
In fact, I'll drop the article, the link to the video that he did that kind of follows up on this.
Is that Alan Arkin?
Yeah, I think it might be. Yeah.
I remembered he was in Glenn Ross.
Yep.
They don't give me the leads. How can I sell without the leads?
The leads suck. Yeah, exactly.
He might have been the most pathetic of the salesmen. I know I focus on Shelley, but it's like, hold on, let me get back to my spot. Oh, sorry about this. Okay. Yes. I don't know why this keeps happening. There we are. Rumors of Shout Factory's death have been greatly exaggerated. The boutique Blu-ray company responsible for some of the very best genre titles and classic reissues on both Blu-ray and 4K Ultra HD formats has come under fire in the past couple of days. The speculation about their impending closure was due to a combination of factors, a change to their loyalty program, some titles on the website being sold for truly bargain bin prices, and a commitment to a popular Blu-ray forum. No, a comment on a popular Blu-ray forum. That's different. In short, Shout Factory is not going away. They'll still be delivering top-tier product across formats and distribution platforms. Company assured their rep when we reached out. Shout is now part of Radical Entertainment. Radio Entertainment. Radio operates Shout and FilmRise, and Shout continues to acquire and distribute and monetize across multiple platforms across digital, FAST, SVOAD, AVOAD, TVOD, linear broadcast, physical, Blu-ray, and 4K. Among the upcoming titles from the company are 4K edition of Mike Nichols' Catch-22, the second season of acclaimed Netflix series Arcane, a new 4K restoration of Shin Godzilla, and 4K editions of John Woo classics Hard Boiled and The Killer, part of the new Hong Kong Cinema Classics line. And next year they're bringing out a 4K version of Mike Figgis' Leaving Las Vegas and David Cronenberg's early triumph Rabid. Have you seen Rabid?
No, I have not.
You know what?
But
if you and I do a Monday Christmas watch again like we did last year,
okay.
I'll pick Rabid as my Christmas movie because it takes place at Christmas time.
Oh gosh,
you get to see a mall Santa Claus getting gunned down. Oh no!
Wow,
he's being mistaken for one of the rabid zombie people. Oh no. Okay. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think something's going on. Tom Connors had his own comments about this too on Midnight's Edge.
He's had a personal run-in with the company that he takes umbrage with, and I totally understand his feeling on the matter because for F's sake, he was. They were talking about forum comments and whatnot. He made a comment on one of the saying, "Look, you guys have screwed something up. You got to get it fixed or whatever," and they blocked him. And it's like, do you not want actual feedback on things? Okay, fine. Screw you guys.
I have to explain to Geek Flag what Shout Factory is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Shout Factory. I don't want to go as far to say that they're a boutique Blu-ray label. Maybe they are. They might have been one of the first. Actually, they might have been one of the first what we call boutique Blu-ray labels. Like, yeah, the studios put out their own Blu-rays of these movies years back, but Shout Factory goes back, cleans them up, makes them look better, gives a lot of special features, makes a cool new cover by a hired artist, and you might even be able to get a poster print with it if you pre-order it. It was like making the idea of you buying a movie special, and since then a lot of other companies have also do this too. That's sort of how Blu-ray is staying alive. A lot of the boutique labels will release these old movies, and Shout Factory has done some great releases over the years. I'm more particular to Arrow Video right now. I prefer their releases, but Shout Factory did a lot of stuff like Like Class of 1980, Class of 84 is one of their discs that I purchased recently. Do you know that one about the? It's like Blackboard Jungle, but I think the teacher actually has to go out and kill the students, because they're that
Oh,
it's
wow, that's intense. No, I hadn't heard of that one, but
no, they do a lot of movies too, and sometimes it's odd movies they put in their collector's packs. Like Brewster's Millions ended up being one of their fancy packs. I got the Burbs from Shout Factory because I'm like, I want a special edition of the Burbs. Somebody give me what I want, and then eventually Shout Factory put out a special edition of the Burbs. Because I love the Burbs. And they'll make like little featurettes where they interview the actors and things like that. And what I love about these boutique Blu-rays is that they're kind of doing what DVDs did in the beginning, where they would put all these special features on them, and then they stopped later on. They kind of got chintzy with that. But now Shout Factory, they go ahead and put the special, they're all about putting special features most of the time. That or the movie they're putting out is so obscure that no company would bother releasing it. Like I think there was some movie with Jesse Ventura, like where he's an alien or something, which they put out, which no one would buy normally, but anyway.
Horror Cat Dad says Friday the 13th box set is great from Shout Factory. So.
That's nice, and I'm sure it's better than what I have, but I'm going to stick with my Paramount 4-disc Friday the 13th set, which comes with the cheap 3D glasses.
Yeah.
The Nightmare on Elm Street series, I did get them in a Blu-ray set, not from Shout Factory though. Actually, a set I got from Shout Factory, I got the Omen movies on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah,
in the Shout Factory set, and it even came with the made-for-TV, the Omen 4.
Yeah, with Faye Grant, right?
Remastered on Blu-ray. See, no one else would go to the trouble of putting the Omen 4 out, but Shout Factory would go to that much trouble.
There you go.
Oh man, but and Riff Tracks. Actually, it's funny because they put out a lot of old Mystery Science Theater 3000 episodes. Shout Factory.
Oh wow!
In fact, Shout Factory has a streaming website too called Shout Factory TV, and you can watch like old episodes of Johnny Carson on there that are running all the time.
Wow!
So, kind of neat. But I heard they were bought out, and the rumor is, I think Deleted Scenes was mentioning it, that they might be going out.
Wow.
Because their quality has been slipping in recent years. They're not quite what they were. I still buy from them every so often, but they're not what they were. I got very angry because Arrow Video put out a Blu-ray of Pitch Black and a Blu-ray of Chronicles of Riddick, and I was hoping Arrow Video would put out a special edition Blu-ray of the third Riddick movie, just titled Riddick, and then Shout Factory ended up doing it. I'm like, really?
Ouch.
I want them all to match, but I guess I'll at some point have to get the Shout Factory version, provided it's still available. But I like the Riddick movies. There will be a good old days of Riddick coming up sometime in the future.
Fair enough.
Warner Brothers. You like
yeah.
that picture of Zaslav?
Oh yeah.
Amid swirling reports of bidding interest by Paramount Global, WB Board of Directors said it has initiated a review of strategic alternatives to maximize shareholders' value. And that's the first acknowledgement of metaphorical for sale sign hanging on the iconic Warner Brothers water tower. In a press release on Tuesday morning, the Warner Brothers Discovery Board of Directors said it had received unsolicited interest from multiple parties, and it's listening. They want to sell this thing.
I think so, yeah.
But I think selling it's complicated because I think they're trying to sell it for as much as they possibly can. So I think they're highballing it right now.
Well, and I've heard talk that rather than selling it, they're putting it up for bid. But let's face it, that's just part of the process of selling, right?
Yes. So strategic options include continuing with the previously announced split and spin, a la NBC, Universal, and Versant, a transaction for the entire company, or separate transaction for its Warner Brothers and/or Discovery Global businesses. Is this why they split the company up in two so they could sell one or the other?
That's what a lot of people have been speculating, yeah.
Okay, well, this makes sense now. Basically, it's all on the table. We continue to make important strides to position our business to succeed in today's evolving media landscape by advancing our strategic initiatives, returning our studios to industry leadership, and sealing HBO Max globally. David Zaslav, the president and CEO of Warner Bros. Discovery, said in a statement, "We took the bold step preparing to separate the company into two distinct leading media companies, Warner Brothers and Discovery Global, because we strongly believe that this was the best path forward." They're wanting to sell. I'm sorry. Am I wrong here? Because it
certainly sounds that way to me. Yeah.
I'm thinking this whole Gunverse. they don't have some big grand plan. I think they're trying to make
No.
it seem like they have a grand plan so they can pawn it off to someone who's thinking they're going to get the next MCU. Correct?
Yes.
I think the Harry Potter TV series is another one. You're going to get Harry Potter for like 7 or 8 seasons. Must-see TV.
That is one way of speculating. The thing is, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, right? We don't know what the conversation is. Because if that is the case, I could totally see Zaslav and folks, jumping at Gunn when they start getting negative press because of the very R-rated Peacemaker and the stuff going on with that, the poor return on Superman, and saying, we're trying to sell this here, what are you doing?
The very R-rated Creature Commandos too. People keep forgetting that one is part of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's a cartoon, but it's not for kids.
R-rated cartoon. Yeah, that's the problem, right?
You get to see Baron Dr. Frankenstein and the Bride doing something on that show. Okay, I'm just gonna say.
You're not making.
Which is kind of creepy because he's sort of her father, right? In some metaphorical speak. Anyway,
I suppose in a way, yes, you're right. Yes.
There's weirdness going on there. I don't feel like talking about it, but yeah, I think they want to sell. But I think this is my impression that they're just trying to get the highest bidder right now. Like they're playing hard to get. I think that's what to coin a phrase of what we used to say with women, which of course you can't do that nowadays. But yeah, if they wanted to save money, make a profit, shut down Paramount Plus and sell the content to Netflix. Well, no, Paramount Plus though, I guess with Skydance merger, I think they're the ones eyeing the Warner Brothers Discovery. To be fair, I would say Paramount Skydance with Warner Brothers Discovery, that would rival Disney in intellectual property. What do you think?
You're probably right. Yes.
And they even have a game studio.
There you go.
Like Disney used to have until they got rid of it because let's stay modern. Paramount Bull's next move after second bid for Warner Brothers Discovery is ejected. Yeah, and again they're bidding. I'm not even going to get into this too much, but they're mulling next move. They're rejected. The initial offer $20 a bit more than a week ago. Okay, rep from Paramount Skydance declined to comment Tuesday when asked about the latest bid for prospects, and a third one Warner Brothers Discovery spokesperson also wouldn't comment. Well, please. You're only going to ask $20 for Warner Brothers Discovery? I'm kidding. It's probably a lot more than that. It's like $20 billion or something. I don't know. Okay. Moving on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Paramount Skydance to cut 2,000 jobs starting final week of October. Will they be from a secret hideout? That's my main curiosity.
Nice. Yeah.
Paramount Skydance cut 2,000 jobs starting final week of October. Paramount Skydance will be getting last layoffs the week of October 27th, eliminating around 2,000 jobs as part of a $2 billion cost-cutting plan under this no CEO David Ellison. Variety reported on Sunday. Layoffs follow $8.4 billion merger with Skydance Media and Paramount Global, which was announced which closed in August. Additional international job cuts are expected, with the company aiming to disclose full details in its third quarter earnings report on November 10th. The report added Paramount Skydance will begin mass layoffs for the week of October 27th, eliminating around 2,000 U.S. jobs following their $8.4 billion merger. Reuters. Now, here's my theory on all this. Another company buys out another company. Isn't this just them wanting to move their people in?
Yeah, it's pretty standard
check.
Operating procedure. You're right. Yes.
So, I don't even know if this means that if this is even any speculation onto the health of Paramount at this point. I think it's just Skydance trying to, basically say we're the ones running the show now. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you make a good point there. So,
all right,
we'll see.
Johnny Depp to star in Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol at Paramount Pictures. Ty West to direct. This was interesting because I'm waiting for the big Johnny Depp comeback, and I know he's started movies since the Amber Heard trial. Can I say that now, YouTube?
Yeah, right.
Okay. he's done movies for Europe, and part of me thinks I don't know that he was even necessarily blacklisted after. I guess he was sort of exonerated. I think he was annoyed with Hollywood for a while, right? Especially Disney.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp is in final talks to star in Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol, an adaptation of Charles Dickens' classic holiday story for Paramount Pictures. Horror auteur West of Pearl and Maxine. Oh, those gems. Actually, in Pearl, I guess it's a literal gem. Okay, is directing from a script by Nathaniel Halpern, Tales from the Loop Legion, and Andrea Riseborough, Oblivion to Leslie. Is set to co-star. Emma Watts is producing, and Stephen Duders and Jason Foreman are executive producers. Should the deal close, the studio is looking to release the project on November 13th, 2026. That's a short timetable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Depp will play the titular role of Ebenezer Scrooge, a misanthropic and miserly businessman in 19th century London who is visited by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future in an effort to save himself from an afterlife of torment. The character has been the mainstay of holiday cinema for decades, including the classic 1951 adaptation starring Alistair Sim, 1988 Scrooge with Bill Murray, 1992's A Muppet Christmas Carol with Michael Caine, and 2009's A Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey. You know, I've heard that with Michael Caine and the Muppet Christmas Carol, he treated the Muppets like they were other professional actors.
Yeah.
And they said
because that was his he said it was his only way to really conceptualize what he was doing, because otherwise, how does this make any sense, you know?
And they said that people think that Tim Curry's process was he just considered himself a Muppet on Muppet Treasure Island.
That's
like
an interesting
Muppet.
take on it. I like that. Yeah.
Okay. So Nosferatu writer director David Eggers has also reported his own take on the story for Warner Brothers with William Dafoe circulating the role of Scrooge. So this reminds me of like when you had Wyatt Earp and Tombstone coming out at the same time.
Yeah.
We're getting two Scrooge movies, and both by these weird horror auteur directors.
Yeah.
Ty West and Robert Eggers are both doing A Christmas Carol.
But let's be fair here. That is how Dickens envisioned it. He did picture it as a scary ghost story.
Right, because that was typically something they would do in England around Christmas time. They would tell scary stories. Yes,
I've got a video up talking about that. So, there you go.
Definitely. Yeah, I remember you shared that. But this would be Mark Depp's first film role for major studio since 2018's Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. He was fired from the franchise after he lost a libel case against the British tabloid The Sun, which called the actor a quote-unquote wife beater in 2018 following allegations of domestic abuse by his ex-wife Amber Heard. Okay, so yes, but I think the media, he finally got exonerated. The person running Warner Brothers at the time that probably had him let go has since been fired from Warner Brothers. And I will say this, J.K. Rowling, I will defend her. I think
Absolutely.
she was actually loyal to Johnny Depp and all that whole thing.
She always was, yeah.
Yes, so Eggers has to finish his werewolf movie first. Okay. Why don't you just have the werewolf movie in the Scrooge movie?
Yeah, you could make it a shared universe, right? Oh, God. Don't give him any ideas.
Someone did that. I think it was the BBC. They did a Dickens TV series where if all the Dickens characters were all in the same universe talking to each other and stuff, running into each other. I forgot what it was called.
Interesting.
I don't know if it was any good or not, but I think it was either there was a BBC or ITV production where all the British, all the Dickens characters were running into each other. But I'm a big fan of A Christmas Carol. I read the book. My favorite version, I think, still is the Scrooge the musical, but there've been a lot of good versions. I think Johnny Depp can do it. I think William Dafoe can also do it, though. I think both are good choices for Ebenezer Scrooge. I think they'll give different takes on the character, so I'm not really knocking either of these versions. I think they'll both be good. Maybe they should try spacing them out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the best business move in that particular regard, but you're right.
Yeah, or even make one like a limited series for a streamer rather than making it a movie. That might make more sense. But anyway, though, Pearl grossed me out. I did not like that movie. I did watch it, and I liked Ty West's earlier work, like House of the Devil and The Innkeepers. I was a big fan of those movies, but Pearl, Maxine, X trilogy, yikes! No. I saw a rotting ham carcass in one of those movies. Please.
Oh gosh.
That's the problem with horror movies now. They don't scare you. They just make you uncomfortable. This is exciting. Star Trek United.
I'll tell you why
What's with
I
the
am.
sigh?
I'll tell you after we get into this. I'll tell you why I'm a little bit reticent on this.
Okay. So Scott Bakula's Star Trek comeback has a game-changing mission for President Archer. So this is this gives more details on the proposed project. John Orquella is the new and classic TV. Okay. Scott Bakula's proposed Star Trek comeback series gives Bakula's President Jonathan Archer an exciting game-changing mission surrounding the fate of the United Federation of Planets decades after Star Trek Enterprise ended. Star Trek Enterprise writer-producer Michael Sussman hatched an intriguing idea for Scott Bakula's comeback, dubbed Star Trek United. Bakula would reprise Jonathan Archer as President of the Federation, his canonical role in the years after his voyages as captain of the NX-01 Enterprise. Unlike previous Star Trek TV series, Star Trek United is conceived as a prestige TV political thriller and family drama about President Archer and his adult children who each have different careers serving Starfleet and the Federation, though not always simpatico with their famous father. Speaking to Sci-Fi Fanatics podcast, Mike Sussman went into greater detail about his ideas for Star Trek United, and Mike hints at President Archer's mission speak to a genuinely thrilling concept for a Star Trek series. Star Trek United would be about President Archer trying to save the Federation, which is still in its relative infancy. About 30 years after Star Trek Enterprise, Archer is the first Federation president, but his galactic coalition is in a precarious position. Mike Sussman explained it this way on Sci-Fi Fanatics. This project he's put together is sort of on the verge of falling apart. How can he save it? Sussman further elaborated that, not unlike how the United States of America did not fully formed after the Revolutionary War, the Federation also took years to become the organization Star Trek fans know, and President Archer had to hold it together in Star Trek United. After the premise for Star Trek-based political thriller, President Archer trying to hold together the project he spent his entire career building is a fantastic idea, rife with story possibilities that would canonize how crucial Archer is to Federation history. So far this is interesting.
Yeah.
Taking audience in a precarious time when nascent Federation's history were an alliance on the verge of collapse, and President Archer might find ways to save his dream. Okay, I mean, this sounds interesting. You don't like it,
right?
Okay.
Well,
okay.
No. I like what it sounds like, but again, there's a lot of buts that aren't being mentioned here. For example, let's face it, we're in 2025. I could totally see this becoming a commentary on modern politics that would just put people off. Whether it's done well or not at this point, I could see people getting bothered by that. Secondly, is this going to be Kurtzman? If it happens under Kurtzman, all bets are off, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, if Kurtzman is involved, and creatively speaking, at least, this is a dodo. I mean, this could technically be separated, because even if we're dealing with Kelvin timeline stuff, this takes place before that split timeline anyway. So this would just be universal for all the different Star Trek series.
But that is pure speculation on our part. We have no way to be certain of that, and I am very, very concerned.
Are they going for a Yellowstone vibe with him having a family and the family in different positions in Starfleet or the Federation and maybe being at odds with the father?
And that's not I don't think that's necessarily a bad take.
No, I think it could work.
I kind of like that idea.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe there's arguments over the Prime Directive yet. Like, they haven't solidified that yet.
If they're smart, the way they'll go with that is referring back to episodes that laid the groundwork for it, where the Vulcans were already had their version of that and why it was important, and the humans were arguing why they didn't agree with it, and so on and so forth, and it kind of played out. Yeah, we should have listened to the Vulcans on this one. That's the kind of stuff you want to go back to. That's good storytelling. But again, I don't know if they've got the talent there anymore to do stuff like that.
I never understood why Star Trek never did as an antagonist species a race of aliens that got technology too soon from another alien race, and it turned out to be a disaster, and they could be the antagonist because they weren't, I guess, evolved enough in their mentality to handle the technology, right?
Yeah.
Because we've never really seen consequences of the Prime Directive being violated. Obviously, the Federation, but there was that one episode where the Klingons were giving the people on this one planet guns before they were supposed to have them. Remember? That was an episode of the original series.
Yeah. I want to speak. Jesse Guajardo says, Troy, the part about Star Trek United feels like trying to copy Babylon 5 with Scott character, but fall short. I think that's what he's trying to say. Here's the thing, though. They already outlined that Jonathan Archer is the first president of the Federation. They did that in the last episode. So, and we already know a certain amount of things about the beginning of the Federation. So, parallel storylines. They don't have to copy Babylon 5 to end up looking like it. You know, it's that kind of a thing. Now, Lynn says Calvin timeline diverged before the 2008 movie prologue. The Calvin crew knew what a Romulan looked like. Yes. So, okay. So I can speak to this too. The stupidity. So the fans went into the Star Trek reboot assuming that the timeline splits off from when the Kelvin, is attacked by the Romulan ship from the future. The problem is, though, that J.J. Abrams says, oh, no, that's where it starts, but it goes in both directions. Somehow it changes time going backwards, too. And everyone's like, how? He's like, I don't know, sense. It just does.
Because I assumed in the Abrams movie, when they encounter that Romulan vessel, they're not sure what kind of alien it is. Like, actually, probably when they see it, they might think it's a Vulcan because of the pointy ears.
This sums it up. Lynn says, because Kurtzman is a moron. Yeah, that's basically it. You're absolutely right there. Yeah.
They need... Here's what I think. The only reason I'm saying this sounds promising, and yeah, we could be horribly disappointed, is that I think that this creative director is going to try to maintain control over this project. Now, whether this guy knows what he's doing, I'm not sure. But I think the idea was this would be kept separate. I'm also hopeful that with this new merger, and especially if Skydance wants to kind of pivot from Kurtzman Trek, this would be the right way to do it.
Right.
With this show that doesn't violate anything in Kurtzman Trek, or it shouldn't. Right. Maybe it does because now apparently time travel affects stuff before the point of time travel.
Yeah, exactly.
Sense. Okay. Anyway, but the point is, I think this could be a good series.
What she said about Kurtzman being a moron, it's absolutely true. I have seen bad time travel stories, but a time travel story like that completely flies in the face of causality. If you don't have causality on right, you don't have a time travel story. So it just...
Because, you have the early Federation worlds, and maybe there's a conflict forming that might shatter the Federation. Like maybe the Andorians want something, or the Vulcans are fighting over something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe even on Earth, maybe it's a human problem that's causing this fracture.
Well, we have had so much good groundwork laid by the show. And this is, again... This is, if you have a franchise that you're trying to build and you're going to bother bringing back Scott Bakula and whatnot, you want to re-release Enterprise. You want to get the DVDs, get a special edition out there or something so people can get caught up on it and then refer back to those so people will want to go and check them out again. That's smart marketing, right? Because there are already stories about why the Andorians hate the Vulcans and how Archer has gotten involved to try and bridge the gap there. Build on that stuff.
Now, I believe Enterprise has been released on Blu-ray because I think when they were originally making that show, they were shooting it for HD.
That's right. I think you're right.
So
I think you're right.
That's not the same issue we have with Voyager or Deep Space Nine. I think they do have HD masters of that, so they could just do a re-release of what they already have.
Exactly, and they
Yeah,
very
yeah.
well should. Yes.
So keep your fingers crossed. Right now, it looks like it's still in the pre-production stages. Either it looks like Scott Bakula would be on board,
Yes,
and
he's actually really a driving force behind wanting to see this happen.
and I don't have a problem with Star Trek looking at the modern world. It used to do that too. It used to do that with like the whole
I
Cold
agree.
War thing with the Klingons
Yes.
was almost like a parallel for the
I
Cold War.
agree with you.
Soviet
I am
Union,
just
you know? Yes.
concerned that they will turn it into a lecture rather than a question mark.
Well, people are getting bored with the lectures at this point.
They sure are. They're
There's a
getting angry, outright angry at the lectures.
there was a joke when Red Letter Media was listing off the villains on Star Trek Picard season 2. Okay, so you have the you have the evil Noonien Soon ancestor. He's a villain.
Right.
You have the Boar Queen. She's a villain, and you have Ice. You know,
Yeah,
because Ice is
exactly.
like the villain on that show, which I thought was
Right.
ridiculous. All right, so moving forward, Keira Knightley got into the news. I'm going to read from this.
Getting back to what we were saying about what's her name, J.K. Rowling. Yeah.
Now you know what her big franchise was, right?
Who's Keira Knightley's?
Yes.
The Why is the Rum Always Gone?
Pirates of the Caribbean. Yes.
Right, that's the one. Yes.
She was the romantic interest for Orlando Bloom in those movies. So
Right.
Keira Knightley angers liberals for refusing to condemn J.K. Rowling. Knightley is voicing a character in an audiobook adaptation of Harry Potter series. Yeah, Dolores Umbridge, one of the great Harry Potter villains, actually.
Right.
Media Buzz host Howard Kurtz discusses the controversy over the Harry Potter author's remarks about transgender people on the story. Actress Keira Knightley faced backlash after the political left and praise from the political right when she laughed at being asked about the political backlash against Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling. I want to preface this by saying that she was being interviewed for a movie she was doing for Netflix. This had nothing to do with her Harry Potter audio work, but the interviewer still brought this up.
Right.
Knightley will voice Professor Umbridge in the upcoming audiobook adaptation of Rowling's hugely popular series. This actually, people keep talking about the TV series, but I think this new audiobook they're making might be something very special. It's fully voice cast.
Nice.
With all the parts, yeah. So Rowling has faced years of backlash for speaking out against transgender ideology. Well, that's what the article is saying, at least. During a recent interview with Decider, Knightley was asked about her upcoming role in the adaptation and whether she was aware that some fans are calling for a boycott given J.K. Rowling's ongoing campaign against trans people. For starters, I don't even know why they keep saying some fans are calling for a boycott. You're not a fan then, okay?
Right. Exactly.
I'm just saying.
You're an ideologue, is what you are. You're not. You don't care about this franchise. You care about the message.
So this was Keira Knightley's response. I was not aware of that. No, I'm very sorry, she said with a smile, going on to laugh. I think we're all living in a period of time right now where we're all going to have to figure out how to live together, aren't we? And we've all got very different opinions. I hope that we can all find respect. So that is an adult answer. Yeah. This is how an adult acts in the room. Exactly. I always complain how there are no adults in the room. This is an adult in the room. Yeah. Because she's not even condemning transgender ideology or praising J.K. Rowling. She's just saying, look, we're all going to have our opinions, and she's entitled to hers. And frankly, she was probably kind of taken aback by even being asked this in the interview about something else.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot more celebrities starting to push back on this. I'm not here to talk about this. Yeah, I don't even know why you're asking me about this.
Yeah, she's an adult. I wish her the best of luck in her career. I thought she's always been good in everything she's been in, to be quite frank. And this audio project, Harry Potter, sounds interesting. I might give this a listen to when it comes out. And frankly speaking, I think it's ridiculous how, and of course, why would she say anything now? Even though I do think this was natural reaction, especially after Emma Watson basically is falling flat on her face.
Right.
This is ridiculous. So, good on Keira Knightley, and moving on to John Carpenter.
Yeah, this one was kind of a surprise for me.
Do you like this image? This is from Body Bags. Body Bags was an anthology movie that started out as a premise for a pilot for Showtime, which they never for a series of anthology horror things they were made. But John Carpenter is the coroner, and he's like drinking formaldehyde and just being very creepy in this scene.
Yeah.
So John Carpenter to executive produce supernatural horror anthology series. Back in the early 90s, Showtime took note of the success HBO was having with their horror anthology series Tales from the Crypt and decided they wanted in on that action. So they reached out to popular genre filmmaker John Carpenter and his wife, producing partner Sandy King, to develop an anthology series called Body Bags. Carpenter directed what was meant to be the first 2 episodes of the show and then brought in fellow icon Tobe Hooper to direct the third. Unfortunately, Showtime decided they didn't want to run the show after all, and not even the fact that it was hosted by Carpenter himself, hamming it up as the character called the Coroner, was enough to get them to reorder more episodes. Yeah, it's a lot like a Tales from the Crypt series.
Yeah.
So the 3 episodes had been shot, were assembled into the 1993 feature anthology Body Bags. A decade later, Showtime did run a horror anthology series called Masters of Horror, which Carpenter and Hooper both contributed to. And now the Hollywood Reporter has revealed that there's a new Carpenter anthology series in the work. The legendary filmmaker has signed on to executive produce the shows. That's appropriately titled John Carpenter Presents for 11th Elevation Pictures. Created and showrun by Michael Amo, Pure the Listener, and Will Pascoe, Orphan Black, Absenthia. The first season, John Carpenter Presents will be set in the remote wilderness of Alaska as a diverse group of characters face chilling mix of supernatural and existential horror. The anthology series will explore the hidden fears and social anxieties of our time. It is said that this Canadian anthology series will channel both Carpenter's visual style and musical sensibility. I'm looking forward to this. I think this could be worth watching. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I like the idea of maybe you doing an anthology series, but you set it in a particular place each season. So maybe these would all be Alaskan scary stories, and then like maybe another season would take place in Southern California or something, and they would just keep going different places around the country, even around the world. That might be an idea. So
I like that.
I like Body Bags a lot. I felt. I'm not as big a fan as the third segment, though. It does have Mark Hamill in the third segment, though. Being weird.
What are you gonna do?
Creepy. Okay.
Nothing can be perfect.
The first segment was wonderful. It had one of the actors from Revenge of the Nerds was in the first segment about the killer on the loose and the woman at the gas station. And our final story of the night: The Goonies gets the Lego treatment. Goonies never say die, but apparently they say Lego. This was rumored. The brick toy company officially unveiled a 2,912-piece building set based on The Goonies, the beloved 1980s adventure movie directed by Richard Donner and produced by Steven Spielberg. The diorama model of the pirate ship for the movie serves as the basis for the set, which tasks builders and observers on a trip through the movie via many rooms. There are brick-built recreations of memorable scenes, from the Fratelli's hideaway to boulder traps to Bone Organ to One-Eyed Willie's treasure room. The set comes with 12 minifigures, including Mikey, Mouth, Chunk, Andy, and Data. Per the company's brand new elements were designed for Sloth's pirate hat and bandana, and Ma Fratelli's hair and beret. The set will be 18 centimeters in width and 62 centimeters in length and 36 centimeters in height. Well, I'm American, so I don't know what that means. Oh, in making the announcement, Lego brought out Ke Huy Quan, the Oscar winner who famously played Data, for a nostalgic mini-film in which the actor guides viewers through the set and its Easter eggs. So that's kind of fun. They got him to introduce the set. Remember, he was Data. He was also Short Round.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway, cool little set. And in case you're wondering, they already did a Lego Gremlins thing, but it was like a full-size gizmo. Instead of it being a set, it was like put together a giant gizmo.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. But, looks good. And I don't know if I'll be getting it, because I realize, as much as I loved Legos as a kid, putting it together as an adult, I'm wondering if I have the patience that I had as a child.
That's kind of funny.
I built the Star Cruiser last week, the Galactic Explorer. Michael French on Retroblasting did a video on the Galactic Explorer, and they actually had some, even though it was a release a few years ago and it's out of print. I actually got it on eBay new for about the price it cost retail. So I picked it up, I put it together, and I realized, what am I going to do with this thing now? It's going to go on display at my library because I don't know what to do. I'm going to put it in the children's department in their display case because I don't know what to do with this thing.
There you go.
I should take a picture of it, though, to share on next week.
Yeah.
And see what it looks like. But
I'd love to see that, yeah.
And I think that's it for the night.
There we go.
If I were to get any recently released Lego set, though, I'd probably go for the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. because it's based on the
Yeah.
Gene Wilder movie, not the weird Tim
Nice.
Burton movie, which I had issues with.
I think a lot of us did, to be honest with
But there are smaller sets that go with this one and One-Eyed Willie set. Yeah, they're actually, if you buy it from Lego.com, if you buy the Goonies set from them, and this is how they trick you. If you buy it from them for a limited time, you get the attic as well. You get a mini attic scene. You know, the attic where they find Willie's.
Sure.
And it comes with the parents of the kids in it too, the two parents. So yeah, you get that as well if you buy it through the Lego site during a select period. They know how to get you. They know how to get me with that Sega Genesis recreation controller. That's what started me on this whole mess.
That's right.
All right, so that ends us for tonight. In a couple minutes, deleted scenes will be starting his reserved seats.
Yep. If you are watching on my channel, stay right here. We will be forwarding you over there. And everyone else, let me drop the link again. I think. Nope, that's to Fanzine. Let me go back and get that for you again. Hold on.
Fanzine.
Hold on. I'll get it for you.
Interested in how Goonies 2 is going to turn out. Well, they have to base it on the NES game, Connie Cleary. They're going to have to be mermaids in it. Because in the old days of the NES, they made a game called The Goonies, and then they made The Goonies 2, even though there was no Goonies sequel in the theaters.
That's what happens, I guess.
It was one of those games where your friend had it, and you're like, I don't understand. Because it was like part action, but then there was like point-click adventure mode stuck in the middle, and you didn't know what to do, and it was weird. All right, but I'm trying to think what we have going on this week. After, of course, reserve seats tomorrow night, you can check out on, if you're a member of Troy's channel, this is why we do recommend you becoming a member. There will be a special Halloween showing movie tomorrow night.
Yep,
Trick or
treat.
Scream. You'll get to hear Troy scream in a few places, I'm sure.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that, but
and then
I don't remember what year is that from. Trick or
is that the one with the chick from True Blood?
It's from 2007. I don't remember.
Yeah, she was in it. The Sookie Stackhouse is in it in one scene.
Okay, so yeah, so you guys, that's the other thing. As a member, you guys choose the movie that we'll be watching on Monday, and that's the one you guys chose. So that is the one we'll be watching, and there may even be an additional surprise feature that I will be playing as well. So by all means, join us if you are a member. If you're not a member, why are you not a member? For as little as $2 a month, you can be a member and join us for our weekly film stream, and you can help support this channel because this is what I do. So
this is what he does.
Yep.
And then come Tuesday, you can join us on Sparkwood and 21 with deleted scenes. We'll be watching a show about rabbits. I figure we're done with Halloween by then. Time to get ready for Easter, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right.
And then come later that night, you'll be having another Blake 7 episode.
Yep, this is the penultimate episode, so you might want to tune in. It's the second to the last episode called Warlord.
Oh, wow, you're getting toward the end.
Yes, we are.
And then anything going on Wednesday?
No, I have not heard yet what's going on with Doomcock. He had some sort of an emergency.
Oh, yeah.
He had to cancel both of his streams last week, and I don't know that there's going to be one this week. So, send the thoughts and the prayers and the good words to him because something's going on over there.
And then come Thursday, Netter's Network Thursday Things. What are you going to be having on there, Netter?
I will be having special guests. I am the 13th Child and the Horror King as they talk about their brand new channel.
Excellent.
Make sure you watch the promos on Liquid Lunch.
Absolutely.
Yes, and you can catch Liquid Lunch every weekday at 12 Central, 1 Eastern. And
Oh, yeah.
And then that'll bring us back to Friday, which will be last call. We're going to have a number of guests on there to kind of celebrate the holiday.
Including the two that Netter just mentioned, along with the Vagrancy Horror, and possibly an appearance by Horror with Nads.
And please, Horror with Nads.
Yep.
Please don't show that picture again, too, with the ghost lady. That freaked me out last Friday.
Yeah, no, don't worry
like
about
that at all.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe if I have enough to drink, maybe I'll just have to pull that up and see how you react.
It's one thing if it's fake. If I think it's real, that's freaking me out. All right. Anyway.
Okay.
And then come Saturday, what will the movie be?
Saturday, the movie on Netter's channel will be...
Do you like movies about gladiators?
Yeah, yes, I do. The movie Gladiator.
I thought it was going to be Spartacus. Oh, well.
Sporadicus. Yes, exactly.
Sporticus. Okay,
Right.
Anyway, and then moving on to Sunday, check out Deleted Scenes channel for Unscripted, the official pre-show of Geeky Geezers, and then you can join us again for more news next week. Hopefully not as much news. This was a bunch this week. I didn't even realize. All right. Catch y'all later, and go ahead.
So members, stay and pay attention to those closing credits so that you can see me thanking you as producers of the channel. Everyone else, stay with us, and we will chauffeur you over to Deleted Scenes.
Bye-bye. Have a good night,
Bye-bye.
everybody.